Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Live on Neevesknives. How's everybody doing tonight? So, you guys seen the thumbnail? I was trying to put up a different thumbnail, but for some reason I don't know, something's messed up with me being able to put thumbnails on lives. So I had to take a screenshot. Now, that is a screenshot of one of the new Maxace models. I briefly spoke about it at the beginning of earlier's video. If you watched the video earlier, you know I have one of the new Maxace knives. But I do have a link down in the description if you guys want one of these models we're about to talk about right now, because I do want to talk about them. I don't have them. But this is the new Meerkat. I think it looks pretty dope. If you look at the size of it, though, I did look it up. The 180 millimeters, I think, is only 3 inches. Let me just double check really quick. 180 millimeters into inches. Yes. Okay, so the overall is 7 inches. Overall blade length is 80 millimeters into inches. Yeah, 3.1. So it's a 3.1 inch blade. So it's not a big knife, but it's also not like a small knife. So it's definitely, you know, stepping in a different direction from Maxace. S90V. I'm not mad at that. I think it looks dope though. And Maxace does do a good job on their stuff. Now hear me out really quick, because tomorrow I got a video going up. I can't believe the value of this knife. It's a company that you guys know pretty well, dropped a new model, and I have it, and it's one of their best models, if not their best. I think it's their best. It's probably their best model yet. However, it's all premium materials. Like, the price is incredible, like absolutely incredible. It's way more affordable than their other knives with the same exact materials. But in my opinion, this is even better. So it's even better and it's more affordable. Watch for that video tomorrow. It's a banger. And it has it just looks good. I want to show it to you guys right now, but then you guys won't watch my video tomorrow. But the Meerkat looks pretty awesome. What is it? There's 2 different versions, the blacked out and then the plain with the blue pivot collar. Looks like it has good access to the lock bar. I'm usually not a fan of the cutouts on the outside for the lock bar, but it's not that big of a deal. Let's check out this other one, because the Sandstorm, I really want this one, man, and I almost bought it. I was like so close to buying it. If you look, there's only one version available right now, and that is this version, the version that has the Rocky pattern. So the other version, the M11B, is the plain flat titanium. That one's sold out, and it's sold out pretty quick. But they still have the blacked out one, which to me is I probably would have picked the other one too, but this one still looks damn good to me. And I've tried the Sandstorms. The Sandstorm's a damn beast. It is a badass knife. That dual grind just looks wicked nasty. I love it. I freaking love that thing. But that's Maxace for you, though. Maxace is just, you know, they're doing the damn deal, and I'm here for it. I like Meerkats the animal. I like all animals. Because I type like I have hooves, I will say a blanket hello to all you knife people. You know what, Bones? I messed up. Tara just went and shipped out today, and I fucked up, and I didn't put your package in there with the stuff. So forgive me, but we're shipping out here in just a couple days anyways, because I have the Patreon giveaway tomorrow. So if you're a Patreon, watch for that video tomorrow. It's uploaded tomorrow. I threw in the Liang Ma field duty in that bitch. So to make up, because it's such a late giveaway, it was supposed to be done weeks ago, and I'm just super late to it. So figured I'd throw something special in there. Now, those of you guys probably already know the story with me and Liang Ma. I'm not going to get into that, you know, not unless you guys want to, but I modified it, though. I did fix the things that I had an issue with. One, I strengthened the lock bar so the detent's better. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. And then I cut access to the lock bar, which massively improves that knife. I couldn't stand the lock bar access on that damn thing. And to me, it's like, man, if I spend that much money and I wait 16 months, something that's not everybody. Like everybody has their own little nitpick, right? One of my nitpicks is damn lock bar access. So to wait all that time and then that happened to me, oh man. What's your favorite sub 3-inch blade knife under 150? I really like the mini griptilian with the sheep's foot blade. I love that knife. I've had one for a very long time and it's stayed so damn solid. So that's definitely one. I don't know if it'd be my absolute favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorites as far as under 150 bucks for sub 3. Um, and technically you can get a full 4-finger grip on that thing, because it doesn't have a flipper tab. So but there's a bunch of knives I like in that size range. Did you get your mirror kit? Did you get your mirror calorie? No, I'm not gonna get one unless if they send it. I got the Raptor. What angle did you put on your MSI? 17 degrees per side is what I did on mine. Now just me being honest, I didn't record it, but I did do an edge retention test on it and it didn't do great. But I did do an edge retention test. What I did was I did one and then and that's why I'm not gonna like really get into it too much because I didn't record it. So my plan was to do the first one, not record it, just do it, and then do a confirmation one on the next one. So then record the second one. But I had talked about it a bunch of times and it just seemed like I think I did a poll and then I did a couple other things and I just wasn't getting much feedback for it. So I was just like, I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time on it. I'm doing this edge retention test if nobody's really gonna watch it anyways. So I just wound up not doing it, even though I had planned on doing it and I bought all the rope. I literally got all the stuff still. And like I said, I did one. But yeah. Got my Cutlery Shop exclusive PM2 warning today. Nice. Hell yeah. Very cool. Good for you. Just put some aluminum scales on my mini grip sheep's foot. That's awesome. I want to get some, man. I want to get some bad because I think they look pretty dope with those scales. It has the old hollow grind on. Oh, you're lucky. Oh, you're lucky. So when I got my mini grip, this is the fucked up part. I had gotten the mini grip that would have been a hollow grind, but we got a Tonto around, right? So the Tonto one doesn't have the hollow, but it was around the time, the 154 CM, when it would have been the hollow. Then when I got the sheep's foot one, it was right when they stopped it. I don't even know why they stopped that. Like that to me is just dumb. Like if they brought that back like tomorrow, oh my goodness, people be going crazy over it. But did anyone order the Manganas Kemano? I should have it on the way for a video. What is the best sharpening angle for Spyderco Para 3? I like doing 15 degrees per side. So Spyderco's, not all of them, right? Because there's so many different kinds, but the majority of them, like the PM2s, the Para 3s, the stretches, like those style ones, 15 degrees per side is what I always do on mine. Because it has most of them have a 20 thousandths edge. So their edge thickness is 20 thousandths. So 15 degrees per side on 20 thousandths, it allows it, one, because it's a broad blade, so it has plenty of taper up to the spine, but it allows you to have a very stable edge at 15 degrees per side, because like 15 degrees per side wouldn't be a good idea on something that's 10 thousandths thick, because it'd be too brittle, it'd be too fragile. But when you get a good heat treated steel, with that type of thickness on the edge, 15 degrees is amazing. It makes it extremely sharp, extremely slicey, and then it has enough thickness to be stable. So it shouldn't microchip. Now, if you did run into some issues, because everything always boils down to what you do. If you're doing anything with impact, which I don't really see you doing with that Spyderco, but if you did for some reason, like you constantly ran into staples and things like that, then I would say put a micro bevel on it, convex it, or just push it up to 17 degrees per side. But as long as you're using it like a regular knife, 15 degrees is what you want. How many millimeters thick is the Captain tape I use? I don't know. I use different kinds, but like 1/2 inch, 3/4, something like that. I have different ones. So I have like, because I bought a pack, so I have from thin all the way up to wide. I think the widest one I have is 1 inch, but I would say don't go under 1/2 inch. Nah, to be honest, I do 3/4 to 1 inch. That's what you should do. 3/4 to 1 inch. That should be really good for you. If not, just go 1 inch. What are your opinions on the Herman knives? I freaking love the Herman knives. I love them a lot. I wish they were more readily available, like on websites and stuff, because I'd probably get one. But yeah, they're awesome. I've tried a bunch of them, and every single, you know what, every single one, and it's crazy how he does this. I have no idea how he does it, but every single one that I've tried sounded the exact same. They all have like this thunk sound. It's hard to explain without having the knife here, but it, like, literally, I could hear, if I flicked one right now with my eyes closed, I could tell you if it was a Herman, because that sound is vibrating in my brain. It's like it's an addictive sound, so you remember it forever. And when you try it against, among a bunch of different models and they all have that same one, it's like it just screams, that's a Herman. It's a Herman. What knife has the best and most satisfying acoustics out there? People would argue different ones. Some people would argue the Rosie. Some people would argue the Factor. Some people would argue the Factor. Some people would argue the that one's even better. Some people would argue the Demco 8020 because of the clickety clackety clickety clackety. And some people would argue, there's so many, like the Riet EXO, there's just different preferences. So it just depends on what you like. If you like the Ting, then there's a bunch of models that can do that. There's a lot of models actually that can do it. A lot of it boils down to the blade geometry relative to the lock face, because the vibration just like vibrates out to the tip, and that's what you're hearing. But sometimes, like, I have some that it's the clip vibrates. Like, I have one, I don't think it's right here, I think I have it over there, but yeah, I do. I have one that when I flick it, as long as my hand's not touching the clip, it goes bing. I love it. Gabriel, thank you, man. 5 bounce. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks everyone for the suggestions last time between the Manix 2 or the Shaman. What should I go with from what's available? Steel and where to order from. If you're going between the Manix 2 and the Shaman, I would go Manix 2, to be honest. That's just the way I would do it. The Shaman's badass. I love the Shaman, but I would go Manix 2. I think the lock faces design, or sorry, the lock style, like the whole, locking mechanism is designed to go the long haul. Open and closed, like, especially if you like to fidget with your knives, that lock is like designed to just last forever, the way it's made. Anyways, that's what I would do. And then steel wise, I don't think it really matters. Spyderco steels are good, so that's the beauty with it. You're gonna, whatever steel you get from Spyderco, you can pretty much guarantee it's gonna be good. And people don't realize the difference between steels when you get a good steel. Like, you could have 5 knives in the same steel and have an experience, have your experience with those, and then try another knife that has a great heat treatment on that exact same steel. It's almost like it's a different steel. It's as if you never even experienced that steel, even though you have 5 knives in it. So Spyderco does a really good job with their heat treatments, and you can pretty much guarantee whatever steel you get, it's going to be good. Now, I wish they had the Crewwear. I'd recommend that, but I don't think they have any Manixes in Crewwear right now. I think the best you could do is S30V, S45, BD1N, and Spy 27, S110V. You might be able to find one with S90V if you can do that. That'd be dope. Anything with G&G Hawklock, Serge, Orbit, Rook. Yeah, I'm gonna get one of those. Oh, I gotta get one of those. Yep, I know what you mean. Yes, that has some of the best acoustics ever. Then I would say the Orbit, because I haven't tried the Rook yet, but the Orbit, yes, the Serge Pin Chico G&G Hawk Orbit. I have a video on it. That thing is absolutely addicting with the sound, and that was just the mechanism. But I don't know how the new one is, the Rook, but I am gonna get one. So, oh, by the way, guys, I know it's not right now, but here soon we have. Oh, you got one in crew wear? You fuck, man, I'd love to have that. Um, I have a new fragrance of the day, and it's from that company I talk about a lot, Replica. You know, where they take a memory and they put it, they basically get a memory and put the scent into a bottle, so it reminds you of that memory, right? Well, I got a new one. It's from the barber, so like a barber shop. So it's like what a barber shop smells like. And we're gonna test that out here as soon as we get to fragrance of the day. Tell you what, it's really good. And damn it, does it smell like a damn barber shop. Holy shit, does it smell like a barber shop. I have one other one we're gonna check out too. But I was pretty excited to tell you guys about it. Yo, Jared, hello to you and Kara. How's your evening? Not too bad, Anthony. Not too bad. How's yours going? If you have longer fingers, the Shaman is more comfortable in hand for me. Well, they have the XL. You just go with the Manix XL. If you have really big hands, I personally like the XL better. But that doesn't mean I don't love the regular one. I love the regular one. It's just there's something about that XL, man. There's something about it that just gets me going, especially when you use it. It's got so much cutting length, and it just, man, it's a beast. I love it. How is Wee's heat treatment on the 20CV? They're running it a little bit soft. So they're running it on the softer side. I wouldn't say they're doing a bad job with their heat treatment. Their heat treatment's, you know, like it's decent. Like you're not going to, what I'm trying to say is like, it's not dog shit, right? It's not dog shit. It's not bad, but it's also not optimal. So they're doing a good heat treatment. They're just doing it on the softer side. They're doing it between 59 and 61. And where we'd want it would be 61 to 62. So, you know, granted, if you can get theirs at their 61, then that'd be good, right? But you don't know if you're going to get it at 61 or if you're going to get it at 60 or 59. So I heard some people tested theirs, and I didn't confirm this, so I'm not swearing by this, but supposedly somebody had tested a few of them and they all come back at like 61.7, 61.3, stuff like that. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I heard. I'm thinking about sending some in to get HRC tested to see how they do. But all in all, you just don't expect it to be like Riet does a better job. Okay. So if you're going to ask like who's superior, Riet would be superior. Spyderco would be superior. But you know, we is better than a lot of other ones. So it's not like they're like at the bottom of the barrel or anything like that. They're right there, you know, in the mid range compared to other companies. Fuck, there's some American companies running it worse than we, to be honest. Manix XL needs the after to catch up and do some scales. You know what they say about big hands, big socks. What's the slip joint where the fuck did it go? What's the slip joint you reviewed that you said made alien sounds when you're opening and closing? That's a Maxace. So here, I'll just pull it back up. So that is a Maxace, and actually there's some available right now if you want to get one. There's two different models. I wouldn't get it through here. You can get it through my Blade HQ link, or you can get it through this link. Just make sure you use my discount code. But that would be this one right here. So this one, if it'll pop up, the Albatross, which they do have some available here too. So you can get them here, or you can just go to my Blade HQ link. I think they have some at Blade HQ. Either way, here it is right here. Just make sure you use my discount code if you do it from the Maxace. This one has the alien sounds, and then this one, the Beetle S. The Beetle S also has that same ratcheting sound. Are they available? Yes, they are. So this knife is insanely slicey. I think the blade stock is like 75 thousandths or something. It doesn't look like it. You're looking at like, oh, it just looks like a regular blade. That fucker is mega thin. It is very, very thin. Like when I first pulled it out, you know, and I seen it, I was like, holy cow, I think this is like the sliciest knife I've tried in a long time. Let me scroll down. I know we isn't the best of the bunch with heat treatment, but I'm in love with one of their integral. Dude, we is awesome. I love we knives. I don't, you know, like to me, you know, the heat treatment is very important to me. It really is. But when I'm buying a we, I'm getting more than just that, right? Like there's not a bad heat treatment. So I'm not mad at it. Of course I want it to be ran harder, but I'm not mad at it. Like when I'm fucking looking at some American companies that I'm buying strictly for their steel and they're running it at 58 HRC, that makes me mad, right? But when I'm going over to we and I'm getting 59 to 61, right? Which would be okay, right? I'd rather see it 60 and above, but you know, um, but they have all the other materials there too. You know, really well done titanium hardware, hardened titanium hardware, the fit, the finish, the action, the detent, the tolerances, all the shit that you want in a premium knife, they go up and beyond with. I got this new one that I can't show you because it hasn't dropped yet. My goodness. I am in love with this fucking thing. But that's, you know, that's how we does it, man. They drop heaters all the fucking time, man. And it's difficult because it's like you'll see one, you'll be like, this is my favorite. And then a month later, another one will come out and be like, this is my favorite. That's how I feel right now with them because I know a knife that's coming at the end of the year that I already know is my favorite. But the new one that just showed up is so damn good. Jeremy says, I'm looking to upgrade from my KME to a TS Prof. Can't decide between the Blitz and the Pioneer. Which one would you prefer? The Pioneer. To sharpen a Sabenza on. The Pioneer. Hands down, Pioneer. Go for the Pioneer. If you're in that price range between just Blitz and Pioneer, go Pioneer. The Blitz is good. Don't get me wrong. The Blitz is good, but the Pioneer is better. It is. So there you go. And it's cheaper. So, and the only thing you're losing that you get on the Blitz is really the heavy base, but it comes with a C clamp. It's not that big of a deal. And if you wanted to, you just drill it into something. But that's yeah. But yeah, that's what I would go with. We is making big moves this year. Man, are they? Holy cow, they are. Yes, they are. The Maxace Albatross makes that running your thumb across the teeth of a comb. Yes, that's exactly what it sounds like. I wish I had one right here to show you guys. I just imitate it for you. See 134 people in here, 40 likes on a video. Do Jared and Kara a favor and smash that damn like button. Thank you, Seth. I do appreciate it. And Chris Bones, thank you, brother. I do appreciate it. And then love you, dude. I haven't been here in a while, but rock on. Steven, thank you for joining. Love you too, brother. I appreciate you joining, even if it's been a while. I really want to find a Les George Mark III or II. Oh man, it looks sweet based off of a World War II design. I don't know if I can think of that one off the top of my head. Thank you, Todd. I love Les George's designs. I've had a couple of them in, and they are really good. I had one or two in that they were really, really good. So please don't take this the wrong way. They were extremely good, but they were on like, I think Teflon or washers. So they weren't like as smooth as I would have liked, but then I tried other ones that were like, whoa. I think it was just an older model. So I want to try the Wii Nexusia when it drops. I bet you do. Bet you do. Coming soon. We showed a partial tease photo of the coming later Falcon blade looks like the Sentinel Strike. What they showed looked sweet. So if you want to see what's coming, go and watch. I'm sure they have other secrets up their sleeve like they always do, but go and watch my my Atlanta video. I filmed the Wii booth and I filmed all the new models coming, and the one that I'm talking about is here. That was my second favorite. But the my ultimate favorite, you'll see it. I say it in that video, and it's so good, man. It's so fucking good. Like I said, you know, these are knives that, like, if this was, and I know it's not, so you know, I know it's not made in the USA. I know, you know, you can look at it, a lot of slave labor and all this bullshit, but I'm just saying, if it was done by reputable companies in the USA, they'd be $1,000 knives. Hands down, they would be. But of course, though, right? Like when you look at the quality of the work and everything and the craftsmanship that really goes into it, yeah. Hey, man, I wonder if Neevesknives could be a good option for cutting my foreskin off. I'm 46 and never got circumcised. What do you suggest? I suggest being very careful when doing that. I wouldn't fucking touch it, but you know, hey, maybe there's a YouTube video on it. Adventure Man with the 5 bones. Thank you for the 5 bones. Bought my first Spyderco. Got a Manix 2 lightweight from OCD for EDC. Love the Spy 27 so far. Yeah, again, Spyderco does a phenomenal job, and a shout out to OCD for EDC. Justin and Molly over there running and doing the damn deal. Yeah, they're really awesome. And yeah, the lightweight, that's my favorite. That's probably my favorite lightweight, is the Manix lightweight that I've ever tried. Now, don't get me wrong, like there's a bunch of lightweights that are great, like the Deca. I love the Deca. You can even say like the Bailout. The Bailout's really good. Fuck the Bug Out. But of all the lightweights that I've ever tried, the Manix has, and because most lightweights you consider, they're going to be FRN, right? That's what they are. They're FRN. But the Manix lightweight is FRN, but the FRN is like the most durable and strongest FRN you've ever tried. The way they machine it or whatever they do to it, I don't know. It has like these pockets, and it has like the structural like parts to it that make it where it doesn't flex. So it actually feels really tough, but except it's extremely, extremely light. That is a tough fucking knife, is the Manix lightweight. As far as lightweights go, what's the thinnest actual blade stock folder you've seen? Anything thinner than that Beetle or the Spidey Chaparral? So no, that was probably the thinnest, was that Beetle S. The Beetle S, like I said, it was thinner than the Chaparral. The Chaparral, I think mine was 78 thousandths, and I think the Beetle S was 76. The my cubit is about the same thickness at the thickest part of the spine, but when you move to the part of the grind that's going to be cutting, it's like 64,000. So the cubit is one of the thinnest geometry knives. Now, I'm not saying I haven't tried thinner, because I have, but as far as like super reputable, easy to get knives, those are the ones I would say. I'm trying to think of something else that was extremely, extremely thin like that. I don't know, but those ones are definitely at the top, or at least near the top. I got a CJRB Pyrite coming on Friday. Awesome. Yeah, you're gonna like that one. I personally like the Echo just a little bit more than the regular Pyrite, but the XL Pyrite, I'm like on the fence with which one's better to me. But they're all three awesome. Like they kick ass with their new button locks. Those non-steel knives with the Vision style lock are super thin. How do you feel about something obscene? I don't personally own any, but I love them. I think their knives are amazing, like really, really good. I actually really, really, really like them, and I'm kind of surprised I don't have any. I would like to get one, or even a couple. I just don't have them. Like, when things come around, because I spend a lot of money on the channel, and I obviously got to think logically with what's going to benefit the channel the most, right? So sometimes I make a call on like, where should I spend my money? Should I spend it over here? Or should I spend it over there? And sometimes I have to leave out things that I really, really, really want. Just because it's, it'd be better for the channel if I invested it over here. My grail right now is the Synergy 2v2 integral frame lock inflamed tie. Yeah, that's a good one. It is a good one. It's really, really good. And that's, another good example of what We's capable of, And, when I first got in the community, it was unheard of, literally unheard of, to find an integral under $400. Like $400 was like the starting price. And then the Tucson TS195 came out, and it was $150. And it was an integral. Now they're $250. But at the time, it was unheard of. So that's why I jumped on this like crazy. But no, that is a good one. LP Knife Works. Been a member for 5 months. How do I like CTS XHP from Spyderco? I freaking love. You know what? Fuck it. I'll grab a knife. I got like probably four knives of theirs in CTS XHP, and it's almost my favorite steel from them. Almost. I'm not saying it absolutely is, because that'd be K390 and crew wear, but damn it, if this was the best CTS XHP I've tried to date. And I have other knives in CTS XHP that are great, phenomenal. They did magic to this one right here. Like, it's so insane. Even now, like, I put a nice polished edge on there. Like, it is screaming polished, right? And this thing is so sticky. Like, if you watch my finger, this thing's cutting me just touching it. It is so damn sharp, but it holds it. That's the point. Like, when I first sharpened this, I only sharpened it because I wanted to. I was trying to beat the shit out of it, and I just could not get it to go dull. Through regular use, like everything aside from like scraping on a rock. I was chopping trees. I was doing all kinds of shit. But that's when I really, really understood, or like really fell in love with CTS XHP, because I had tried a bunch of CTS XHP and loved it. I absolutely loved it. But then when I tried this, I realized how good CTS XHP could be, from Spyderco. So yeah, I love CTS XHP. I think it's a phenomenal steel. And damn it, does it get sharp when it's done well. Yeah, the Vision FG that's definitely a home run. 100%. I'm surprised they're still available too. Same thing with the Sentinel Strike. But I think the reason why they are still available, if you look, like a bunch of sites got them, that's why. So they were evenly distributed among a bunch of sites, and a bunch of sites got them because they knew they were going to be popular. So they did a lot. So that's why they're still available. They're only still available because they planned on selling a lot. They knew. Sometimes you just know, and it is that good, though. It is that fucking good. So we should be happy, right? We should be happy that they made so many, because, man, I'd be so upset right now if they only made so many and 500 people were able to get it, and that's it. At least everybody's able to get one if they want one. Just got a Kunwu Pulsar yesterday. So good. Most money I've spent on a knife. Although detent is light, I'm scared to add the stronger springs. If the detent's light, add the stronger springs, Big Daddy. They do a really good job. Kunwu does a phenomenal job. I think they're sending me one right now. But yeah, dude, they do such a good job. But yeah, if you feel like the detent is a little light, replace the springs with the stronger ones. I think you'll be much happier. And it might not even change it that much. But that is one thing with crossbar locks. That's what I'm kind of critical about with some companies, is their detents, because some companies are able to do them right, like Kaiser. They figured CMB, right? They figured out how to do a detent with a crossbar lock. But you know how long a crossbar lock's been around and they haven't been able to? where it's just like it was like impossible for them to create a good detent. I think we thought for years like, well, you can't get a good detent with crossbar lock, like as if it was just like set in stone, chiseled in stone, that it's fucking impossible. Kaiser came over and said, "Hold my beer." I just got an Oz Rosie. Damn, good for you, man. 3 weeks ago from Oz for $720. Damn, it's nice, but still keep carrying my TRM atom and neutron with textured tie scales. Thoughts on the Rosie? I love the Rosie. I almost bought one. Every time I go to Blade Show, I almost buy one. And the only thing that stops me from getting it is the fact that if I get it, I can't show you guys. I can't link it. Yeah, I could show it in a couple videos and scream about it, but I'm not going to sit there and rub it in every, in every video while you guys can't get it. And I can't link it or anything like that. So, if I do wind up getting one in the future, which I do want to, it obviously it'll be just for my pure enjoyment. But it is an awesome knife. Damn good knife. And as far as the TRMs go, I probably shouldn't be shouting them out, but because I love you guys, right now, let me see if I can remember who it is. Give me 1 second. Okay, yes, I found it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to it and I'm gonna give you guys the link. So, is any of you guys trying to get a TRM Shadow right now? You guys want a TRM Shadow? We'll fight for it because there's only a few of them there. Go get it. I just put it in the description, or not in the description. I just put it in the chat. So anybody looking for a TRM Shadow, now's your chance. Now's your chance. Go get it. Make sure you leave them a note and say under Neevesknives recommendation. Neeves, is the arch nemesis worth it, or is worth the hype? Which one was the arch nemesis? Why can't I remember it all of a sudden? Give me a second. Oh, I never got to try one, man. I want to. I don't know. Fuck, man. I want one bad. I wish I could try one. The Brian Nadeau arch nemesis. I bet it is. Brian Nadeau is probably the best American knife maker, the best knife maker on the planet. He's definitely my favorite. If he's one of my favorites, if not my favorite knife maker. I think he does an amazing job. I met him at Blade Show. He didn't know who we were or anything like that. So, I just briefly spoke to him for a minute. But yeah, he does amazing work. And I have no doubt that that's not as good as everybody says. Everything that I've tried of his has been as good as everybody said, if not better. I just got a TRM Nerd 2 weeks ago. Absolute banger 5th back knife. Yeah, we got one of those. We got the Holy Nerd. Are tie scales rapidly available for those shadows? I don't think so. I think you have to get them through them. You might be able to get them to make you a set. I don't know. I would like a TRM Shadow. Well, go get it. Go get it. I gave you the link. The link was in the. If you guys want to know, it's from American Edge. So just go to American Edge. What do I vape? Nicotine. How are the knife laws where you live in Connecticut? I can't carry an auto over 1.5 inches. So where I live, you can carry autos and OTFs and stuff like that, but you have to have a gun license or I think it's just a gun license or a carrying license, and you can't be a felon. So I'm stuck not doing that because I'm a felon. But as far as everything else goes, I'm in the Chicago area, so as long as I'm not downtown, I can pretty much carry whatever, that's non-automatic or balisong. So as long as it's just a regular folding knife, which is what I prefer anyway. So, I'm happy that, I don't really care that I'm not allowed to carry OTFs or autos because I prefer a manual anyways. But in downtown, it has to be under 3 inches or something like that. I think under 2 inches. Like it's like a 2-inch blade length. But that's downtown though. So remember, there's a lot more to Chicago and the surrounding Chicago area than downtown. Um, so it's all cake. Got a couple package to ritually open with coffee, unlit stooge, and dogs. All right, there, dog. Hey, man, I picked up a Kaiser Deviant, and while they were on sale, great knife except for the pocket clip. I keep having to bend it back in place. Any idea about the titanium clip that will fit it? No, I don't know. I'm curious why yours is bending. You must have snagged it on something. Yeah, take it off and bend it back really good, and hopefully it'll be nice and stable for you. Um, Other than that, you might be able to get them to send you a replacement clip if you talk to them, but I don't know about a milled clip that fits that. Not that I can think of. I just got a Microtech Ultratech. Oh, such a dope knife. Hell yeah. Yeah, I got some gray Rit dye for my vision scales. Oh, you got the JG10, and you're gonna Rit dye it. Not a bad idea. That's the cool thing about yes, I am alpha male. Yes, I am. That's the cool thing about the JG10 is that you can Rit dye it and make it any color you want. Because obviously, like with that model, what does it come in? It comes in green micarta, black G10, the jade, and then one other one I thought, but there's not a lot of options. That's my point. So you could do purple, blue, pink, whatever the fuck you want. Glenn, thank you, man. Thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. I do appreciate the support. Thoughts on the Custom Knife Factory Evo? I don't think I can remember seeing one on your channel. Yeah, I had one on the channel. I've had a couple on the channel. I've had them in for sharpening. I had lefties on here for sharpening. But yeah, I've got videos on it. I don't know what the video would be called because in many cases I collab knives all into one video. But I loved it, man. I loved it. It was actually one of my favorite knives, and it still is one of my favorite knives. I've almost bought one multiple times for like $600-700. That's how bad I wanted it, and I just never wound up pulling the trigger because I had it on the channel. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. It is that damn good. So damn good. That deep hollow grind. I just love that blade shape and the hollow grind. It's so sick looking. How comparable is the Demco Shark Lock to the Sneck Super Lock? So they are comparable, but they're not the same. Do I have the other one here? No, I do not. I got it over there in my wee pouch. So the spring in the Demco is right here. The spring on the Snecks is back here. That's one thing. Two, this bar goes behind the tang of the blade, but it doesn't wedge in between the stop pin. So this part right here drops in behind the tang of the blade, preventing the blade from going forward now because this plate is in the way. In order to go forward, you'd have to snap that. In order to go backwards, it would have to snap the stop pin. So you see the stop pin, big ass stop pin there. You can see how big the lock face is right there. Now this is going to slap into place. So the Sneck's lock wedges in between the stop pin and the tang of the blade. So that's the biggest difference. I wish I could find the CVV Vision with the Damascus blade. I got the Sentinel Strike with it though. Let me try. Let me try to help you out really quick. Yeah, it's weird because I noticed that too. That some of the models from like Civivi, the Damascus ones were the ones first going. Yeah, you're shit out of luck. Shit out of luck. Sorry, bud. But yeah, it's crazy how some of the Damascus ones are going so fast. Usually people prefer a solid steel over a Damascus, but Civivi does a good job with their Damascus. It's a 9CR 10CR mix. So in the beginning, I think it was 9CR 440C because I had talked to them and that's what they said. And I think that over time they've just upgraded it and you started using a different steel. So now it's 9CR and 10CR, which are very similar. So 9CR is basically 440C. So and 10CR is just, a step above. So it's winds up working out really good. Playing with the Vision and Damascus Steel right now. Bet you are, legend. For LE button lock, there's 4 screws on the scales aside from the pivoted clip. One of these screws is long. Where the fuck does it go? I don't know what knife you're talking about. I've lost every Rosie lottery from the drawing. I've never joined one. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people probably right next to you. Simon says, could order from EU. I ordered mine from Czech Republic and got it in 5 days before release date. Yeah. Here we had to wait for the release date. Which is weird. You guys got it early, but I guess, whatever. Just got the Leatherman free. Nice. P4 last night. I'm flipping it like a bally right now. I wish they would upgrade the steel from 440 HC to D2 or 154 CM like the Skeletool. Yeah, I got one of the frees. It's right over there. But yeah, I know. I wish they would do like the S30V ones, like because they do have some Leathermans in S30V. Jared, you see the Keennison production knife yet? He has them and are going to be available very soon to buy. No pre-order. I don't think I have. Have I? I don't think I've seen that. I got to try one of his customs for the first time ever. A few weeks ago or a couple months ago. But I think I might have tried one for a second at Blade Show, but no, I don't even think I knew about it. Maybe I'm just not thinking about it. Yo, Jared, if you're serious about wanting a Herman knife, there are some available right now on Polish Custom Knife. No, so what I was saying is that of course I want one, but I don't have an affiliate to Polish whatever. So what I'm saying is that in order for me to spend that much money, I like it to benefit the channel to some extent, and that's a knife that I is not always available, but and I'd love to be able to show people and talk about it, but it is an expensive knife. So I'd prefer to be able to link it. I'd prefer to be able to, to show people and it benefit the channel if people make purchases with it. That's just me being honest, right? Like I'd be stupid to not do that, right? And anybody that has a channel and tells you different, they're fucking lying, right? I'm just being honest. But it's just in my best interest. Now, that doesn't mean I don't still make expenses like I do all the time, on shit that I just want, right? I do that all the time. But I try to be, smart with my expenses. Is there something wrong with me if I'm not interested in a CRK Sabenza? Seems you're not a collector without one. No, man. So the thing is that Sabenzas used to be the thing, right? And don't get me wrong, Sabenzas are still fucking awesome. I love Sabenzas just, as much as the next guy, but they're starting to get outdated. They are. What Tim should do, Tim Reef, if he was smart, which I know he is, he's a brilliant guy, he should come out with some on bearings. If he put a bigger detent ball, that's it. Bigger detent ball, bearings, my goodness. But because it's on washers the way it is with a light detent, it's a slow roller. So it tends to not be as satisfying. And I'm not saying don't still do the washer ones. Obviously do that. I'm saying just have a separate line of ones on bearings. Because, people are into action. The sounds, the acoustics, the snap, the sound of the lock bar cracking in place. Like we love all those things. So and Chris Reeves are known for being ultra smooth, but just in a different kind of way. You have to really be into that nice slow rolling action, which I love. You know, I do love. But I, would prefer more modern style action, if I had the choice between one of the two. Respect collaboration. It's supposed to drop soon. I need to check that one out. Have you ever handled one of the Sandra knives with the snake lock? Yes, I did. I got a video on it. I want one, but need more info on it. Yeah, so the thing is that you're buying it for that blade material. It's cool. It's fidgety. It has a really strong lock and everything, but it feels cheap. It does. It's just when you get one in hand, it's not going to feel like a $200 knife. You're paying the money because of that material that they use. It's so difficult to make and so difficult to, and that's another thing. It'll stay sharp for damn near forever as long as you use it like a regular cutting tool. But to sharpen it, man, it can be a nightmare if you're not good at sharpening. But it's cool though. I love it. I just, it's not something I would recommend to everybody. You got to really, really want it for what it has that's important on it to enjoy it. Because otherwise you're going to get it and you're going to be like, wow, this isn't like what I thought it was going to be, Have I ever handled, I already read that. This one I just read. I'm thinking about buying a PM2 with anodized titanium scales. What do you think of anode tie durability? So the way it works is titanium that's anodized. If you want a tough, durable finish on anodized titanium, it has to be polished first. So the way it works is the more polished the surface is before anodizing, the tougher the anodization is. The longer it'll last, the less likely it'll scratch, the more it'll take fingerprints and everything. Now, say if it's a blasted finish is going to scratch very easily, right? It will start wearing down. Now, granted, it'll still last a long time, but it's going to scratch very easily. Polished finish doesn't. Polished finish, it just doesn't scratch very easily. But so it just depends. It depends on the color, the finish. Some colors last longer than others, so it just depends on the finish. So if it's polished, then it should last pretty good. If it's not polished, then it'll probably wear off pretty fast, or not pretty fast, but it'll scratch and wear off. What's up, Nocturnal? I'm noticing the interesting impasse with some historical models like the Holy Trinity versus the modern economical badass selections we enjoy today. I don't know what you mean. Oh, you're saying the Holy Trinity versus the modern shit today. Yeah, man. I think, at least I feel like the Trinity changed. So what was it before? It was Hinder, Chris Reeves, and Strider, right? I think Strider's kind of gone. And then some people would argue and say, like, you could throw Emerson in there, Medford. I would say now, ooh, man, that's tough. I bet you now it's probably, it's changed, man. Now it's Koenig. It's Koenig, probably man, I hate to say it, but probably Chris Reeves and Hinder. I'd probably be the real Trinity now. And if you really wanted to go crazy, it'd be the Koenig, the Rosie, and Sharp by Designs. That's the real Trinity now, because those are modern knives at a high fucking level, like to the sky. A Koenig Arius is just, it's basically like React quality, right? And I'm not trying to be insulting to Koenig. That is 100% a compliment. What Riyadh is able to do with their knives is basically what Koenig does in the USA. So you're able to get that level of performance and quality, even better, to be honest, even better. So it's actually probably a couple leagues above Riyadh. Cue ball coming in hot with the 5 ball. GENTS. Been out of commission for a bit. Hope everyone's doing well. Jared, call me tomorrow if you have some free time. All right, brother. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it. Hope all is well with you. Have you checked out the El Mamba? It's what I wish a Sebenza was. Yes, I have. Well, which one did I try? I tried the other one, but it's basically the same damn thing. I have a video on it, and yeah, it was really good. And yeah, even back then, people were saying that was basically like a poor man's Sebenza at the time because you get it a little bit more affordable. Or sorry, the modern Sebenza. That's what I meant to say. The modern, not poor man, modern Sebenza. But yeah, they're awesome. Backed up. Extrema Frame Rock, Frame Lock Bowler and 690. Any thoughts or comments on this knife? So I don't agree with their prices in steel. I think they're Italian made, right? So this thing has such a snappy D10. Extreme ratio knives they're okay, but they're not worth the price. The price that they ask for with N690 steel, like that's the problem is Italy. I don't know if they just think that knife buyers are dumb or if they are just, I don't know. I have no idea, but they try to charge absurd prices for some materials. And N690 is one of them. N690 is a budget steel, right? Like you can get an N690 knife right now for like $50, $60, you know, definitely under 75 bucks. So to see an Italian knife, like you understand it's going to cost a little bit more. So it's like, okay, I could see it costing 120 bucks, something like that, right? Being from Italy. Not $300-400, especially when you're not talking about titanium and things like that. What was the knife you were just flicking with the ting? The Factor. This one's the best one that he's made too. This is the first one. So the first one has the strongest. This thing is so stout. It's like powerful. The newest version is a little bit lighter D10. Still has a nice ting to it most of the time. But the D10 is just not as stout. It's good. It's really good. It's still very satisfying. But this is like double as strong. And you can even hear it. You can hear it when it goes back. Listen to this. I don't know if that's making any sound or not, but this one's more clunky. Anyways, they're both really good though. Jared, do you agree that the EXO acoustics are unpleasant, or is it just me? I like the acoustics of the EXOs, the clickety clackety clickety clackety. I love it because it's, I don't know. I think you might be thinking that it sounds cheap, but to me, I just hear moving parts, and which are a good thing because it is supposed to be a free flowing moving knife. So I like the sound of it. I think it sounds dope as shit. But yeah, to each their own though, I recently discovered Artisan Cutlery blowback with the recoil lock. Very interesting knife, but there's not many videos on them. Thoughts? Have you handled it? Yes. So I don't like them. The recoil lock. So the detent was just too light. That's the problem. They weren't able to create, at least from my experience, they weren't able to really create a good detent with it. That was the problem. So, the lock is strong. As long as you don't care about that, then go for it. But yeah. Imagine hearing that sound on a job site. My eyes would light up. Anyone lucked out on the McNeese Tonto Tuesday drop? They drop at such random times. I have not been able to catch one yet. Well, good luck. Good luck. I ordered the Winter Blades Factor V3 in March, knowing it won't have that ting. Breaks my heart. What do you mean? This is it right here. It still has it. It's just not as strong, but it still has it. You hear it? Is that not coming over the mic? Sometimes it doesn't, but It usually does. This one's, yes, it's a little louder. But this is also the Damascus, so that could have something to do with why it's not as loud. But it's still good. What makes the difference between a $200 and a $400 knife for you? What needs to be the difference so you'd say it was worth the money? So there's a couple things. Depending on the where it was made, that's one thing. Where it was made is a huge thing. What company made it, how the heat treat is, what type of materials, right? So like a $200 Spyderco, right? Say a $200 Spyderco, I'm buying for the heat treatment. I'm buying it for the steel. I'm buying it for the locking mechanism and the durability and it being a long-lasting, badass, go fuck yourself knife. But if I'm going to pay $400, I'm expecting titanium, possibly contoured, possibly inlays, possibly fat carbon fiber. I'm expecting, incredible lock bar access, just like the little details to show me that this thing is refined in every way. That's what makes a difference to me. And then also you could expect titanium hardware, just depending on the company you're going to go through, incredible action, the fit, the finish tolerances, all that stuff. So, that would be the big difference to me. You're stepping up the materials and build quality massively. Jared, I just got the perfect gents knife. Bag D Amisi. Have you handled this one? I don't know if I handled that one. I think I might have that one. Let me look it up. Oh yeah, I got one of those. I did a video on it. I didn't do a review on it, but I have one. Yeah, it's cool. It's a good one. I really like his mini glimpse a little bit better though. So it's not necessarily a gent knife, but it's a good one. Why hate on extreme ratio N690? You liked mid guards and they use trash D2. In regards to the Italians using N690, always. Maybe because it's very rust resistant and they're surrounded by water is my thoughts. So Italians don't use just N690. They use LMAX a lot. They use M390 and they run it soft as shit. Their LMAX they do a decent job with, but their M390 they always run super soft. They use even more steels than that. But Midgard uses trash. I don't know what Midgard we're talking about, but yeah, I mean, if it was a Midgard with D2 that was $400, I'd say it's trash too. I'm speaking about extreme ratio charging the money. I'm not trashing the N690. I'm trashing the price for the N690. $300-400 for an N690 knife in steel and G10, like that doesn't make sense. Or aluminum or whatever the handle material is. It just doesn't, things come at cost, right? It's kind of like when I was talking about that video earlier, if you guys seen it. Raffier Noble scales. You can go online right now and look up what slabs of Raffier Noble cost, right? Like let's say a 1/2 inch by 10 inches, right? A slab of it. Okay, well, how much does that cost compared to carbon fiber or micarta or titanium, right? And you can see the price jump in materials. Now you have to talk about the ability to machine it, right? That's going to cost more too. Titanium costs more and it's more difficult for them to machine rather than machining plastic, right? So when you know these things and you start looking at it, you can get around a price range what seems reasonable. And then there's some that are just downright slaps in the face. And that's what I feel like from them. I feel like that you're just getting slapped in the face with their price tags. I know around what they pay to make those things. So that's also why. Um, it's not the same as the first though. Thank you, Chris. You'll have the ting, you won't have the stronger D10. Right. That's what it is. You have a weaker D10. That's the big thing. Because the difference is this one only has a magnet on one side that's interchangeable. This one's magnets are not interchangeable, but it has 2 magnets. I think he should go back to doing 2 magnets, but that's just me. Have you tried, oh my God, ice and liquid? Really enjoyable. I have no idea what that is. Um, yeah, got to break in. And Chris Reeves, great tool, long in the tooth. Now innovation is required, a tad maybe. So I still love Chris Reeves, and I do agree. You know, it's kind of like even my slush buoy, like it is ridiculously smooth, right? My Chris Reeves is one of the smoothest Chris Reeves I've ever tried. It's so damn smooth. My Spartan Harsey, ridiculously smooth. I love them. But yeah, I would love to see some innovation. That's it. I would love, wouldn't you love to feel what a Sebenza would be like on bearings at least? Just feel it, just try it. I think it'd be fucking dope. What's your opinion on Kunwu and their latest releases? I got the Tau Compact, and it's really good for the price. I like them. I love Kunwus. I hopefully have one on the way. They were supposed to send me their recent releases, and something happened, and it never got sent. And they're supposed to be sending it now. I don't know, but we'll see. But I love them. I love them. I spoke very highly of them. I couldn't get myself to spend 400 bones on a knife yet. My most expensive yet was 260, and that was a tough argument with myself. Yeah, but that's not a bad price range to be in. I think a $250 is more than what most people spend on a knife. That is a great price range. You can get amazing knives between 150 and 250. So nobody ever has to go above the $250, $300 price tag if you don't want to. There's plenty of shit. Now, what's going to happen though is you're going to spend $300, or you're going to convince yourself. This is how it happened to me, so I know it's going to happen to you. You're going to convince yourself that you can spend 300. I spent 260 last time. I think I'm going to go all and spend 300 this time. You're going to look around for that $300 knife, and you know what you're going to settle on? The knife that costs $340. And you're going to say to yourself, it's $300. What's 40 more fucking dollars, right? I'm already spending 300. What's 40 more dollars, right? And that's where it starts. And the rest is history. Next will be 350, 360, maybe 400. What's your opinion? I already read that one. What's up, Jared? Have you, or are you willing to try any of the new Italian knives with Magna Cut? Yes, I am. Do you think they're doing it more optimally than M390? No, I do not. So I think they're doing about the same. I have one or two knives that are Italian in Magna Cut. I for sure have one, and it's running soft. It's a soft Magna Cut for sure, very soft. So yeah, they're running it soft, 100%. They're not running it in optimal range. I even argued with one, not argued, but I talked to one company and told them, like, man, if they're gonna go down this route, they need to make sure they do this right. They're gonna be dragged for this, right? And from a company that already has a reputation for having soft HRCs on super steels, it's just going to hurt your credibility more and more. Now I think there's some examples where it's okay. It's kind of like I was talking about earlier with the Maxace with this knife. This is 60 HRC, right? Which, a lot of the Italian Magna Cut's even softer than that. But this is 60 HRC. I'm not mad at that. It's a karambit, right? It's not a PM2 or, that type of design. So for what this is designed for, even if you're going to use it as an EDC knife, Magna Cut at 60 is going to do just fine. But you're not expecting that insane edge retention out of something like this. Now, if it happened to be, something else, I would. So it does depend on what it's put on. But yeah, no, I think that they are running it soft, and hopefully they get the message, because they know, trust me, they know everybody bitches about their HRC. They know they're running, they're still soft. Thing is people are still buying them, right? People still buy them. Granted, they've probably taken a loss, but I don't think they understand the loss. Because they have their Italian market, right? I don't think the Italian market knows. I think it's mostly, the knife community that really knows the difference. So, I think that they do know. I know they know. And I think that, you know, it does bother them a bit, but I just don't think they understand that if they ran their steels at an optimal HRC, how many more buyers they would have, because they would have a lot more. Just bought an Urban EDC at 5.5 off NAF sale. Been wanting one for a while. That's a good one. That's a really good knife. I'm a budget guy, none over 75. Can you tell me what knife I should look at? Budget range, like a City Boy EDC. None scarier for my coworker, fidget fun, and solid EDC. The Civivi Cubit. I would push you towards Civivi or CJRB. That's where I would push you. Some Kaisers too, but Civivi and CJRB is probably where I'd push you the most. I'd send you the CJRB Cubit, the Civivi Cubit, the Civivi Cubit, the Civivi Serene, or possibly the CJRB Echo or the CJRB Pyrite. That's where I would go for. Now, if you don't want a button lock, then I could recommend something else, like the Kaiser Escort. Do I have it right here? No, I do not. The Kaiser Escort is 75, 80 bucks, and amazing knife. That's another one I would recommend, especially if you want a really strong lock, because it's a crossbar lock. Nocturnal Trails, thank you for becoming a member. Let me double check, man. You guys probably sent shit and I didn't see it. We are about to do fragrance of the day, and then we will go to story time. 188 people in here. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Hit the like button. Shout out to everybody in here, man. I appreciate you guys joining us. How do you know definitely that you need stitches? Well, the way I always determine it is, well, so I'm a bit of an idiot, so I'll tape or glue my wounds up. Now, if I can't get the tape to tape shut, like if I can't close the wound and get it to secure and stop bleeding, then it needs stitches. Now I do have some wound things that are made to pull a wound shut until you can go and get stitches. That doesn't count. So if you can do that, that's what that's supposed to do. Now you can do that, and I've used those. It's going to leave a nasty scar, but if you can't close the wound, right, with something like with band-aids, wrapping it, then you need stitches. That's the way I usually do it. I'm not saying I'm not a fucking doctor. Let me be clear. I'm the guy who steps on knives. I went from 50 to 300, and now I'm at, well, I better not say in case my wife sees. Zachariah's in that damn rabbit hole really deep. Cue ball and others saying, but CPM D2 is splitting hairs like CPM 154 at the end of the day. The prices are a joke. CPM 154 is different than 154 CM. Same thing with CPM versus D2. CPM D2 versus D2. It's just a powdered version. So granted, it is better, but no, it does not warrant much of a price difference. You know, you could argue, depending on who's doing it, like you could argue if it's a small batch company doing, a couple of heat treats at a time so they get optimal HRCs and get really good heat treatments and all that shit. You know, you could argue a little bit more money, but when you're talking about just mass production companies, it's not going to cost them much more, if any. You know, in fact, it might be even a little bit easier to machine because like CPM 154, I don't know, maybe it's not. It's probably about the same to machine, but I know it's tougher with this powder form, but man, that steel is so easy to machine already. Good tip on magnet cut from Maniago. Thank you. Would ask you eventually. Yeah, that's the thing, it's just the Italian companies, man, they're running their shit soft, and they have been for a while. They know it. They know it. But it's just whether or not they're going to do anything about it or not. People ask, well, why are they doing that? Why would they want to run softer? Well, the reason why is because of cost. So it's more affordable to machine and tool a softer heat treated steel than a hard. Okay, put it this way. When you start talking about some of these super steels at the optimal HRC, that's when the wear resistance goes through the roof. That's when it becomes, a motherfucker to grind and machine. When they're at a softer HRC, they're going to be a lot easier to grind. So now they're going through less belts. It's easier, just going through the tooling and everything. It just winds up being more affordable for them to produce. Now, you can't bitch if you're talking about an affordable knife, because an affordable knife, they have to cut costs somewhere. So, it's granted, as much as we want, well, we'd love to have 20 CV at 62 HRC for $75, right? It's just not likely, because the company that's producing it won't be able to make enough to make ends meet, so in order for them to give us a price that is obtainable and good, in a mass production setting, they have to cut costs somewhere. Otherwise, they have to raise the price somewhere, Tucson has a new lockout. Just got one off White Mountain Knives to check out. Well, let me know. Let me know how it is. Like I said in my video earlier, I want to get more of them on the channel. I just don't trust them enough to buy them. I went from 250 to 600, and now I don't even second thought buying a $500 knife. It's a curse. It gets you, right? Once you step into a certain range, it becomes a lot easier. A lot easier. Same goes for the budget. Jumping from $50 to $100, that's hard. That's tough. Telling yourself like, man, I'm gonna spend two times as much as I spent on this. But then once you do, that's the price range you're at. You're there now. The only thing that kind of hurts is if you got a bad one. If you have a $50 knife and then you spend $100 knife and then get a fucking lemon, you're pissed, and you wind up saying the $50 price range is the best range. But don't ever hold a lemon against the company. It happens, so for me, the perfect blade shape and length for everyday carry is a bug out 535. I could spend more and have quite a few knives in all shapes and sizes, but to me, the 535 is the one. I have 12 of them. Damn, Jimmy, you got 12 of them. Damn. Jeffrey, Jared, do you have any experience with K340? No, I do not. I love K390 though, but I'm guessing it's not the same. You're right. Tucson kind of went cheap. Yes. I think Tucson uses pandemic to go cheap and use cheap steels as well. Yeah, they are fumbling the bag right now. So the thing is that sometimes you have to know where you stand, right? And you have to know when your opportunity is and what you should do with it. Tucson 2 years ago had an opportunity to come in and fucking sweep house, but they never did. They never did. It's almost like they grew to a certain point and said, we're not doing any more after this. Like, they're not trying to make a social media presence. They're not trying to send things out to knife reviewers. They're not trying to go to blade shows. They're not trying to do to get in dealers. They're not. We thought they were when they did White Mountain Knives, but they stopped there, right? So it's like and then they're not trying to get into like a lot of USA distributors. Like, they have the Amazon ones, right? But not all of them. Sometimes you can get them from the USA. Like right now, the video I posted earlier has some Tucsons that are in the USA right now that you can buy. But most of the time, you're going to wait 2 to 4 weeks, 2 to 5 weeks, sometimes even longer, even from Amazon, because they're overseas. So that means they're not sending them here. So all these little details would massively improve their reach and their sales and everything. So it just, it bit them in the ass. It bit their, they did it to themselves. They have to want to be a part, because who buys Tucsons? Who buys Tucsons? People in the community. That's who buys Tucsons. It's not like there's a massive amount of people that aren't part of the community buying Tucsons, right? The only way you really know about Tucsons is either from eBay, Amazon, or YouTube. So since that is your market, if you're trying to expand, it'd be smart to get into that market a little bit better, you know. And I had a deal with them for a little bit. And I've told you guys this, that I did get in contact with Tucson and I was getting a deal. I was getting them for really cheap. And as long as I bought a bunch of them at one time, so I was buying a handful of them at a time, getting them, for a really good price, and that gave me the ability to review and test them without putting too much money on the line. And then if I wanted to sell them, I could sell them for a little bit of profit, or just give them away or whatever. I never wound up selling any, but I'm just saying what my mind was saying, right? I did that about 3 times with them. And like I was saying in the video earlier, a couple of them, the batches, like 4 out of 5 were fucked up. Like they were bad. Like they weren't good. Like there'd be some that'd be like good, but not great. And then there'd be like one great one. So one great, one good, and then a bunch of I'm pissed ones. Then I went back to them and I gave them a list of numbers, of the ones I want, because I was only going after the brand new ones, right? Whatever was brand new, stuff that was just hitting the market before anybody else gets it. And then they raised their price on me in a ridiculous way. Like they went way they didn't like slowly go up. They fucking dropped like a bomb. I mean, I was like, no, I'm not paying that. Like after paying what I've been paying, like for the past 3 batches, now I'm going to pay this. Like I'm not doing that. It's not worth it, because what if they're all lemons like the last one or the last 2? So that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth along with everything else. And it's just like, like I said, there's no face. You can't think of anybody. Like right now, if I think of I think of Seth, right? If I can think of all kinds of companies. I have a face I can actually think of when I think of them. I've met them. I've shaken their hand. I've talked to them. I can actually get in contact with them right now. With Tucson, that's not the case. Even with me being in contact with them, I was in contact with somebody, overseas, that I don't even know if they understand what I'm saying. Like, so it's very difficult. There's obviously a lot that gets lost in translation. I don't think I have a Tucson. I have to look in my knife pile that I now have due to these videos. Papa Pita, I did a video earlier and I linked the good ones. If you want to get a Tucson, the Tucsons that literally made them blow up, the ones that are so damn good, check out that video I posted earlier and look at the links, because I linked all the good ones. At least the best ones that I can think of. There's other good ones. I can list probably about a dozen more that are really, really, really good. But then there's also a lot of bad ones. It's like this. This is the way I think about it. Out of 100 knives, there's like 20 that are fucking fire. But then there's 80 that are just like, no good. All right, so let's do the fragrance of the day. So, fragrance of the day, I told you guys earlier, let me explain this company. So this company takes memories and puts them in a bottle. So the one I have right here, this is the first one I ever tried from them. It's called Replica, and that's the name of the company. Mason Margiela, Paris. This one is Jazz Club. So it smells like a jazz club. I freaking love this shit. This shit is like, look at my bottle. This is my stuff right now. It has a rum and tobacco notes in it. So rum and tobacco. Because of the rum, you have a little bit of sweetness, but it's kind of like the same sweetness you'd get from like a sweet whiskey or something. It doesn't smell like you just drank whiskey or rum, but it has those notes in it. Anyways, so good, so fucking masculine. I don't think any man could have this and not enjoy it. But my point is that Jazz Club is what they were trying to make this smell like. Somebody's interpretation of a 1970s, 1980s jazz club. This is at the Barber. So they're trying to capture the notes or the smells that you would get at the Barber. And I don't have anything on right now. I'm fresh out of the shower. Yeah, that's fucking fire. It smells just literally smells identical to walking into a barber. Like right now, I can literally picture myself walking into a barber. you know, watching the barbers on the side with the guys, you know, like doing their hair. Yeah, dude, that's nice. That's really nice. Um, it just that's what it's you guys know what this it smells like aftershave, a little bit of chemicals, but not like bad chemicals, like the good kind of chemicals. Um, like yeah, so basically like almost like an aftershave mixed with I want to say like a pineapple plant, like because it has some not green, it's not really green, but it has like a plant likeness to it. That's really, really good though. It's fire, but yeah, you guys know what a barber smells like, right? So that's what it smells like. Now, and I think they mastered it. Like this, I have a lot of barber fragrances. Like I have one right here. This is another one that has a barber smell to it. This is called Dolce and Gabbana King, and this has a very much a barber smell too. They very they have some similarities, but this has green in it. So this has a greenness in it, of some sort. I don't know if it's like some fruits, like some apple in it or something like that, that this does not have. So this isn't technically a barber fragrance, you know, like this one is, but it has a barber freshness to it, that you would think of. As soon as you smell it, you would think that, but it has something else in it too. Um, but anyways, really good. I linked it down in the description if you guys want to try it, check it out. I highly recommend Jazz Club though. Very masculine. Both of these super masculine fragrances. There's nothing sweet about either one of these. There's nothing they're not even, I wouldn't even say they're fresh, they're not sweet, they're not spicy. This has tobacco in it, but not like spicy. But this shit right here, oh my goodness. I when I spray this on, like I'm gonna put it on actually, because this stuff is both of these are really good, but this stuff's addicting, man. I can't stop smelling it. Once I put it on, I like to put it on right here so that I can keep smelling it, and I put some on the back of my hand so I can hit it a few times a day. But I can't stop. Once I spray it on, it's so addicting, man. It smells so damn good. The shit's kind of expensive, but to me, it's worth every penny. When you really enjoy a fragrance, and this is one when I first smelt it, I was like, oh, I don't know. But that always is the way the best ones go. The best ones are always the, I don't know. That's how they always go. The ones that you smell and you're like, oh, this is fire right off the bat, they tend to be good, but not your favorites. Custom EDC Knives. What happened to my bell there? With the 2 bones. Hi, everyone. How's it going? What's up with you, brother? Sounds like Dracar Noir. Minus the pineapple. So the pineapple, I don't mean pineapple like you smelling a bowl of pineapple. I mean the plant. Like literally before it's ever cut. Like you take a pineapple and you smell it like that. That's the type of pineapple I'm talking about. Natural pineapple, not like the artificial pineapple, not the inside of the pineapple, the outside of it. I thought it was trash. Don't know what you're talking about. Can you guarantee a guy can get guaranteed punani with this scent? No, I can't guarantee that. If you want one of those, I can definitely tell you one of those. I would say that there's gonna be some women that are really gonna love this, and I've seen a lot of women really love this. But there's gonna be some that they're not gonna hate it, but they're not gonna be all over you. They're not gonna be giving you blowjobs at the end of the day just because you're wearing it. But I definitely have some fragrances like that if that's what you're looking for, you know, some more fuckboyish type fragrances. This is a great tobacco fragrance. This one has some sweetness in it though. This is a Zorro Wanted by Night. I did not link it, but I can if you guys want. A Zorro Wanted by Night. And this is a sweet tobacco spicy fragrance. So it's almost like Spice Bomb. It's very similar. I personally like it better, but this one can sometimes be you know, a go-getter for the ladies. But it has a spiciness to it, a sweetness, and then like I said, a tobacco and maybe a little bit of leather in there. This, like I said, this is leather, tobacco, and rum. That's what you're getting with this. Leather, tobacco, and rum, and it is so fucking good. I personally love. I use that replica one. Oh, do you? Which one? The Jazz Club or the Barbershop? I like Tom Ford tobacco. Dude, I want to get that so bad. Tobacco, vanilla, and amouage. Overture, man. I don't know what that one is. Are there any fragrances similar to either of those that you recommend? So the tobacco vanilla, I need to try it. I have not tried it completely yet, but I will say one really good tobacco fragrance. There's actually an intense version coming out right now. Is red tobacco, Mancera red tobacco. That is really, really, really good. But the first top note is a little off-putting for a second, but once it dries down, it just, man, it's delightful. But I would say, Charles, I'm telling you, man, tobacco vanilla, if you like that, you'll probably really like Jazz Club. I'm telling you, Jazz Club is the shit. Try this stuff, man. I can't recommend it enough. Same thing with that Mancera red tobacco, but the red tobacco, like I said, when you first spray it, it's going to slap you. And just don't pay attention to that slap. Get slapped and just leave it alone and wait about 10 minutes and then give yourself some light smells because it dries down like all fragrances do. But that first smack is very pungent and it almost is a little too much. It's just like very red tobacco. Like that's basically what it smells like. Do you still like the Mancera Cedar Boys? Yeah. Oh yeah. I absolutely love that one. That one's a great one. That's like a Creta Ventus. That's basically what it is. It's Creta Ventus, but for $300 less. Yeah, I love that one. That's one of my go-tos. Laren Thomas interview with Zach. Favorite steals, budget 14C, premium Magnicut, super S9EV, and S110B. Very cool. Yeah, he's awesome, man. I got his book. Yeah, he's really cool. I got to do somewhat of a podcast with him one time, but not much. And I don't think he knows who I am. I really like Fleur Somebody Would. It's a woman's scent, but I don't care. It smells like Forest Fleur. Dude, there's nothing wrong with that, Zach, right? I used to wear ladies' Adidas because it smelled so much better than the men's Adidas. With fragrances, they put men and women on sometimes the bottles. It's all bullshit. It's all marketing. That's all it is. There is feminine and masculine. That's all there is. Feminine and masculine. Some people will say, yeah, that's the woman, that's the men's. Yeah, but there's also a blend. So it goes super masculine, super feminine, right? Super feminine is going to be, more ladylike. Super masculine is going to be more men-like. But then from here to here, it's all mixed. Like you could go either way with it. Like a girl wearing the same fragrance would smell a certain type of way because of her essence and her hair and the way she is. And a man will smell completely different. It's just how you wear it, and how your pheromones come off with it. So to me, I don't even pay attention to that. And that's why a lot of times I like getting the ones that are both, where it's both man and woman. Okay, let's catch up. Let's catch up. What do we got here? Lost about 30 people as soon as we did fragrance of the day. That's all right. Fuck them. We can do story time now. We are to story time. There's Hamilton, maybe. Make sure to slap, spank, hit, or caress the like button. Whatever you're in the mood for. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yes, please hit the like button. Hey, Jared, what are your thoughts on Ultim? I don't like it. See, Savivia is coming out with a Praxis and Elementum with Ultim skills. So if people like it, I'll feature them and link them. That's cool if you like it or if other people like it. Some people love them, but to me, I don't like it. I think it looks cheap. I don't like it. It's not for me. Now, I will be honest, when I seen, what was it, the Hogue Deca, it did look kind of cool. There are some models that look kind of cool, like with its black blade, black hardware, so I could see why people like it. I'm just, I got to warm up to it a little bit more. Oh, you got the Nautica Voyage. I recommend that one all the time. That is, you can get for like $20 now. So the only cologne I ever bought myself is a bottle of Nautica Voyage, and for $50, can't go wrong. No, yeah, you can get it for like 30, $40 now, even cheaper in some cases, 20 to $40. That is an ultimate banger for the money. That is a summer fragrance though. It's a it has melon notes in it. I say it's a cucumber fragrance, but it's melon is what's in there. Jared, if they want vanilla, that Givenchy may be something for them. I see, man. I can't recommend that one though because I fucking hate it. I really hate that one, man. I know some guys like that Givenchy. I don't know why. I can't understand why. Because to me, it smells like burning lipstick. But to each their own. To each their own. Luck Knives says the best use of Ultim I've seen is a Serge Rook that allows you to see the function of the hawk lock. Yeah, that makes sense. That would make sense, you know, especially for a specialized locking system. That's kind of cool. You think so? You think she'll like that? What knife would you recommend? Best bang for your buck, high end, $500+ best bang for $500. How can it be a bang for your buck? What knife would you recommend? Best bang for your buck, high end. I mean, it depends on what you can get because, like, if you can get a Koenig Arius for $500, I'd say that'd be like an incredible bang for your buck. But as far as what knives are available, I would say just go with something from Riyadh. That's going to be the best bang for your buck is Riyadh. As far as when you're in the $300-$400 price range, at the $500 price range, I would go back to the USA and I would get a Hinderer, a Chris Reeves, a Spartan Harsey. But you're talking about tough knives now. So if you're not into hard use, tough motherfucking knives, then you might want to go with something else. A lot of times, you know, just modifying a knife, like getting a PM2, the PM2 you want, and then getting aftermarket scales, aftermarket hardware clip, that can be enjoyable. But there's a lot of knives in that price range, so that's tough, man. That is tough. Can they make different colors of Ultim? I don't know. We've only seen it in yellow. That's a good question, Michael. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one. Ultim is PP or black. Oh, it only comes in PP or black. Okay. Well, there you go, Michael. It's like a barbershop. Old, retired. I have one called bitch. If a blade for a if a blade for a coworker about 150 budget ideas. What? So you want a blade for a coworker about $150 budget ideas. I mean, Hogue, anything Hogue, Deca, Hogue RSK, MK1, Spyderco Manix lightweight. That'd probably be where I would go. Something like that. That's where I would go. Yes, story time. So let's get to story time. Let me think of something. Because I don't think I planned. I did have something planned, actually. I can't remember what it was. I need to start making sure I write them down. Did I write it down? No, I didn't. But, let me think. Okay, so I got a story for you guys. And it's kind of fucked up. It's kind of sick. It's kind of nasty. So turn your ears up. So this was a time when I was on probation. Okay, or no, sorry. I'm on pretrial. If you guys don't know what pretrial is where, say, you get arrested, you get locked up, and they let you out, right? So you get released on bond or bail or by signature, and you're on pretrial. Pretrial is where you basically they're allowing you to get out, but you have to come, and every time you go to court, you have to piss. So you have to drop for them. So you go to court, and then when you leave court, you drop. And if you're clean, you get to leave. If not, then they bring you back to court. Okay. And if they bring you back to court, you're going to jail. You're getting fucked. So that's pre-trial, basically. So it basically just helps you stay on your P's and Q's and make sure you're going to court, make sure you're dropping clean, things like that, because you've already done something so fucked up that they don't trust you, right? That was me. So I'm in pre-trial. So I go to court, right? I go to court, And I had already been, normally you get like 1 or 2 times where they don't drop you. They're just getting your information at first. So I was kind of praying for that to happen. And I was definitely dirty. I was 100% dirty. And, so I had to, so I went to court. Now I have to go to pretrial. Well, when you walk into pretrial, right, you're basically walking in right to the, it's like right next to the police department, like where they release you from jail. So if you were in jail, right, and you were getting bailed out, the doors you walk out of, it's like hooked up to those doors. So when you're going in, you can see jail, or like, where they're getting booked, and you're walking right next to that, and you're walking through another door that's going to lock behind you. There's no running once you're in there. Once you're in there, you're in there, right? They know all the tricks, right? So they make sure these doors are locked. So once you pass that, there is no going back. So I put myself in there, and now I go sit down, and they want to drop me, right? They want to drop me, and I'm fucked. Like, I'm fucked. I can't go to jail. I cannot get locked up. And I know a lot of you guys that think, well, then why the hell were you dirty? Forget about it. Regardless, I could not go to jail today. Could not do it. So I'm in pretrial, and I sit down, and there's a camera, and then there's also the door, right? This is the door that if you go through that door, that means you're going back in front of the judge, you're going to jail. Like, basically, you're just going to jail. Or there's the outdoor, right? So I'm sitting in between them, and I'm sitting here stirring up a plot. Like, I have to come up with a plan. Like, how can I pass this drug test? Like, it's so difficult when you really think about it. Like, how do you do it, right? I'm trapped. I'm locked in. They're going to watch me piss, by the way. They're going to come with you when you piss. So I sat there, and I act like I couldn't piss, like I had to drink water. So I started drinking a bunch of water, and they're not letting you out until you go. So, there's no like, oh, I'll come back tomorrow. No, they're not letting you out. So, and they have all the time in the world, and they'll just switch officers too. So they're not going to, like, if one guy has to leave, they'll leave and leave you with the next one, which is kind of what happened to me. And I got lucky, but this kid sits down next to me that's in pretrial, and I look over at him, and he just looks clean. So I look over at him, and I just ask him straight up. I said, "You clean?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Bro, I'll give you a fucking $100. And this is me. So the whole time I'm like coming up with this scheme in my head, like, of how to get out of here. So my plan in my head was, if I can get somebody to piss in their cup, right, to get it tested, and then pour it on top of something that could be squeezed and put back into another cup, I could get out, right? And I know this sounds disgusting. So, when you're desperate, you'll do just about anything. So anyways, so I talked to this dude, and I asked him, I said, "Bro," I was like, "I'll give you $100 if you, after you drop, instead," because what they do is they point a gun at it, and they test the temperature, and that on the thing tells them whether or not you're clean or not. Once they see that, they tell you to dump it and flush it. And they let you do that. They don't want to touch it. So they just let you dump it and flush it, right? So I knew they were going to do that. So I said, pretend like you flush it and just pour it in the garbage can. That's all you got to do. Pour it in the garbage can. So I had went in there, and I pretended like I was trying to, like, go to the bathroom, and I wasn't, and I washed my hands, and I took this whole fucking pile of paper towel and toilet paper, and I just balled it up into a ball and put it right there in the garbage. And he agreed to do it. And I could not believe that I got this dude to do it, because if he got caught, like, he's getting in so much trouble, and he looks like somebody who does not get in trouble, right? I know he's in there, so he's in trouble, but he's not in that big of trouble, right? He's not in my shoes, right? So I was surprised he said yes. He was like, "Yeah, no problem." I was like, "Fuck, dude." I was like, "Dude, you have no idea. You're saving my life right now." And he really did. He really saved my life that day. So I have my nephew and his girlfriend are outside there. I can see them through the doors, and they're like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I just keep telling them, "Wait, wait." Like, "I'm getting out. Just wait," because they're thinking I'm fucked. Like, he's taking this, because it had been so long, like, been over an hour right now. It wound up taking 2 hours altogether for me to do this whole plan. So that's insane already. So I got him to do it. And I went in there and I scooped the cup. I wound up snagging the cup, right? And I squeezed it in there, and then I had the piss inside the cup, and then I told the guy I had to go, right? They switched guys. So my one guy that was supposed to be with me when I dropped left, and now I'm left with this other guy who's old and didn't give a fuck. So that wound up saving me too, because he wasn't like trying to stare at my dick. He didn't really care that much. He just wanted to, be done with the job. So when I went in there, I pretended like I did piss. I pissed in the toilet, but I pretended to piss in the cup, but really I didn't. And I already had it in the cup. My finger was just covering it, so you couldn't see the bottom of it when I'm holding it. It looks like an empty cup. And he tested it. It passed. I got lucky. The temperature, because he didn't even check the temperature, which I got so lucky that he didn't check the temperature. But he checked it, said, all right, dump it. And I was able to walk out of jail, out of pretrial, instead of going and getting locked up. And I felt like $1 million. My nephew was like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? How the hell did you get out of that? I actually talked to him today. My nephew's actually locked up right now. He's gonna be locked up till like 2025. He's trying to get out early by doing some things. Hopefully he's able to. But anyways, yeah, it was fucked up. It was really, really difficult to pull off, but I pulled it off. And then in my head, like I still, even to this day, like thinking about it, my heart starts racing, because when you're in a position like that, if you get caught, you're gonna get locked up. They're gonna bring it to the judge, and they're gonna tell the judge, and the judge is gonna be way worse. One time I was in court and I watched this dude walk up. All right, he walks up and he just went to pretrial, right? He just went and pissed dirty, came back in front of the judge, and the judge looked at him and said, you were just in front of me. And he was like, they said that he pissed dirty. He's like, why didn't you tell me? That's what he said. He said, why didn't you tell me that you were dirty? He's like, I'd probably let you out right now if you were just honest with me. He's like, but nope, since you were going to lie to me and go to try to pass a drug test knowing you're dirty, go to jail, right? Lock them up. So I'm like, oh, fuck, man, I just got to be honest with this judge. Just be honest. Yeah, right. So when I got up there to this judge, knowing I'm dirty, he goes, are you going to pass your drug test? I said, probably not. And he goes, oh, really? And then bam, goes, go to jail, locks, doesn't even give me a chance. Like, it's like, you just told this fucking guy if he was just honest. It's like, at least I'm being honest. No, hell no. So I want to get locked up for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. Like, it wasn't nothing, but I mean, that is still something though. 3 or 4 days being locked up fucking sucks. Like, it's a big deal. So, dealing with the judges and them having your like your life in their hands, and they can just do anything they want to you. It's such a horrible fucking feeling, man. And like with that feeling, knowing that this judge, I'm going in front of this judge and I'm going to try to be honest with him, because if I go and piss, I'm going to piss dirty, right? And by the way, I had already ran once or twice. So the first time I was supposed to go piss dirty, I just ran. I took off. And that's probably another reason why I was on pretrial, because there's different levels. Like, you can go, like, if you're on probation and you go to court, you just go to your probation and go and piss. But anyway, so I had already been through the ringer with all this shit so many times that the walls were closing in on me. The walls were closing in on me until I wound up getting my shit together. But it took a while, and it was a lot of ups and downs until then. Thank you for stopping in, Lord. Jared, ever handle the ant lock similar? Yes, no, sorry. So no, I didn't, but I remember it. I remember when it was like really popular when it first came out, but I never really tried it. I actually had a knife that was very similar to the ant lock. It was just from a different company, and it was like identical to it. So I kind of tried it. Just hearing that has my stomach in knots. Been there. Yeah. It sucks, man. And that's another thing. Yeah, dude, like when you're going through all that shit, you're nervous system is like fucked. Like your everything, like you said, your stomach's in knots, your heart's constantly in, doing bad. You're it's almost like you're fighting to survive constantly, and it puts you in such a weird place, man, mentally, physically, everything. And yeah, man, it makes you a nervous wreck, and then after you then making the choice to leave or run or something, now you've made the choice to be on the run. And now you're gonna be on the run. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like you can't be caught for nothing now. So now once you've made that choice, like, okay, I'm gonna run or I'm gonna skip this and not do this or whatever. Well, now that you get a warrant, and when you get a warrant, it's that much worse. So now they're actually on the look for you. They're looking for you. And then when they're on the look for you, anything can happen, right? You can get into an accident, you can get pulled over, you can just run into one of them, or maybe they're looking for you and they actually are stalking you, right? Like they did me. So it makes it to where now I have to run. What I mean is that like you're already on the run, but if something happens, you have to run. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like you can say, "Oh, fucking got me," like you're gonna run, right? It's just, you're already on the run. So it's like it can't get any more worse, right? You're already to the bad. So the worst part about that is going to be going to jail. So it's almost like you run as hard as you can and as far as you can and as much as you can until you get caught, and then you deal with it. Which is stupid. I'm not saying that's smart. Um, but that's just the way your mentality works when you're actually going through it. Um, and then even if you are prepared to turn yourself in or anything like that, it's always like, I'll do it tomorrow, things like that. Like you never really want to, because the judge's fate for you is not going to be good. When I got arrested last year, when I was gone that 4 months, they dropped the felony down to a misdemeanor for being honest and cooperated during arrest. Got time for past stuff, but $120 fine for felony. Well, dropping down to a misdemeanor is huge. Personally, I mean, I understand what you mean. I know you didn't mean you snitched or anything like that. Cooperation is different than snitching, but I've and 9 times out of 10, or actually 10 times out of 10, like I am never talking about anything to the cops. They can give me whatever they want, and I've been down that road so many times. Like I am not talking for shit. But if it with my own felony, I got it um dropped down from a class 1 to a class 2 and a class 3 because I just admitted it. So I was already caught dead to rights, so it didn't matter that I admitted it. I wasn't snitching on anybody but myself. So you do a video on the anatomy of a knife. There's so many of them, Derek. Go watch Nick Shabazz. Nick Shabazz has like 150 videos. Basically, the knife that you want to see the inside of, Nick Shabazz probably already has an assembly video. So he has so many videos taking apart knives. Go watch Nick Shabazz. He'll probably have exactly what you want. Definitely ran for years. Finally got hemmed up. On new shit. Snitches get stitches. Yes, they do, or wind up in ditches. One of the two, depending on how bad that snitch was. Running from the cops is just postponing your demise. Yes, absolutely. Luckily, I didn't fall into the hands of substances. Yeah. When when you're on substances, it makes it even worse because that's almost why you're on the run. You don't want to be sick. You don't want to do you guys know. So, but yeah, when you're on the run, you're just pressing time, but sometimes you need that time. Like, okay, so like the one time with me, I was on the run, but my dad was dying. I was literally my dad's caretaker, and he was dying, and he did die. So I was doing everything possible to be with him till he died, and then make it to the funeral. I got arrested the day before his funeral. I talked the judge into letting me out because my dad had a funeral. And he did. Thank God. So shout out to that judge. He was really cool. But for the most, usually they wouldn't do that, especially for somebody who's already been on the run and shit like that. But it's hard to explain that, to a judge or to the cops, like, hey man, I got priorities and going to jail is not one of them right now, running from the cops. I read that one. I was just a cold turkey. I was addicted to cold turkey. Have you ever heard? Or have you ever tried to quit cold turkey? There's a reason why it's always compared to all other addictions. Um, yeah, fucking cold turkey, going cold turkey on anything. In many cases, it's not smart. Um, bro, that's why I've watched you from the beginning of the channel. You're so relatable. I can totally relate. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. I think a lot of people can relate. And I think a lot of people have a hard. Now, let me be clear. I think some people aren't, they don't want to obviously talk about their personal life, as a channel and stuff. And then some people, like, they just, it's not that there's nothing exciting. So when I say those words, I'm not meaning it in an offensive way, but there's nothing exciting to really talk about with your personal life. And you don't really want to get into your personal life or anything like that. I've had to with the channel with me because it's public record, right? So, and I said that from the beginning. And I remember talking to Bama Knife Guy because me and him have been friends since I started the channel. And he knew I was a felon and everything. And I told him, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to tell the channel, like, I'm gonna have to say something, like, I started the channel, but now that I'm really going hard on it, and it's probably going to start growing. I got to make a decision. Am I going to be honest about my past, or am I just going to try to lie about it? Right. And I came up with the answer. I'm just going to be straight up brutally honest about it. Just be brutally honest, and whatever happens, happens. Like, that's all I can be, because what I don't want and what I can't have, and this is what me and Lee talked about, is 5 years from then, somebody not snitching, but bringing up my record and showing it to everybody across social media and saying I lied to everybody, right? Like, I lied. This is who Jared really is, all this bullshit, blah, blah, blah. So in order for that not to happen, I figured I would just talk about it openly, and people can make their own conclusions how they want, and at least I'm not, hiding anything. So Craig says, I ran because I couldn't prove I didn't do it, and really didn't. That sucks. And last year's issue was combo them lying to pull me over and just throwing gun in car instead of storing properly. Yeah. Your stories are one of my favorite parts of your show. Oh, thank you, Fred. I appreciate that. I like doing story time. I just, I got to be careful with some of the things I talk about. I try to talk about things that are public record or things that are only related to me. But, a lot of stories I have, I had to be careful with what I talk about, because there's still people alive and that are tied to things. But I got so many people that I know have died, so I have plenty of fucking stories that don't matter that I can talk about without a problem. And I enjoy having the conversation, because a lot of them are really old stories. So, it's past time limits, because there's only a certain amount of time. Like, say, if I talk about a crime I did, there's only so much time until that crime can be, it's too late. Like, there's nothing they can do about it. So I can talk about it all I want, and I just wouldn't bring anybody else up that was involved. Pros and cons of being 350 pounds and going to jail. Con: fat man in a jumpsuit. Not good. Okay. Pro: nobody really says shit to a 350 pounder walking in a gen pop. That's kind of true. But you'd be surprised, man. You'd be fucking surprised. I've seen some scrappy motherfuckers that are small as shit and will talk shit to anybody. And then I've seen some absolute monsters that are sweethearts. Right. And then I've also seen some monsters that are gonna push up on you. But yeah, for the most part, yeah. Because what you're gonna have is a lot, because people think of prison when they think of jail, right? And that's not the same, right? even in prison too, even in prison, a lot of people are dope fiends. A lot of people aren't doing good. They're sick. In prison, you can get people that are more straight and they're a lot more set, in doing shit. But when you're in jail, man, you're with a lot of dope dealers and people that are really skinny, fresh off the streets, things like that. Granted, there's going to be some big dudes. There's going to be some dudes that are in there for fighting, for robbery, for this, for that, just about every fucking crime. But yeah, I mean, just depending on where you go, it depends on how you or how it's going to go for you. But usually, man, if you mind your own business and you're a straight shooter, you'll be just fine. My dad was, damn it. My dad was deep into drugs. I remember his face the day I found one of his methadone tablets on the floor, which began his journey of getting clean. Yeah, I mean, I've been definitely down that one. I'm a juvenile felon because I did some dumb shit, and thankfully I can get removed from my record. Yeah, when I'm 18, I had to spend a week in juvie. Yeah, that is a beautiful thing, ain't it? I have a juvie record too. Luckily, when you're 18, it goes away. That is damn good. Um, because man, it would suck to be able to hold that against you. And a lot of times people change. There's so many people that when they were under 18, they got in trouble and then straightened out, or just never got caught again, which is usually the case. Because like even like me, like 99.9999999% of everything I did, I've never gotten in trouble for. I'd say the things I have gotten in trouble for are like the most minimal of what I've done. So, police pushing you around, taking you to jail, flight, fight, jacked up to 9. I almost vibrated fear. Hit the fella that looked sideways and was smushed. So, fear and bloody. Yeah, blood can definitely strike fear in a lot of people. Some people get even nastier when they see blood. Kind of like a Nate Diaz or something. When that fucker gets bloody, he just gets tougher. Have you ever seen the Tucson TS 209? What are your thoughts? I'm trying to remember it. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Come on, you fuck. 209, right? Yeah, it's not my style. I'll say that much. Here, I'll show everybody. Might as well. Yeah, it's definitely not my style. I think it looks kind of cool just because it's unique, but it's this one right here. It's just not my style. I've never tried it, or at least I can't remember trying it. But yeah, it's definitely unique for sure. I'm doing better after those 8 days. The biggest turning point in my life. Yeah, that's how sometimes that shit can happen. I know, I definitely turned my life completely around, like, through, like, 180 degrees. I would say 360, but that'd be stupid. 180 degrees for sure. Even talking to my nephew today, who he's in prison and shit, love him to death, but, I could hear in his voice, like, the streets, and it, makes me think about that shit. And it's like, fuck, man, I want the best for him. And I know where he's at mentally and everything, because I've been there. But man, just sometimes, man, you know, you gotta really want it, man. You gotta bust your ass day in and day out to get what you want out of life and just period. If you put your nose to the ground and you have a goal, and not a 1 month goal or a 1 year goal or even a 2 year goal, like a 5 year, 10 year goal, and you really put your nose to the ground and you fucking grind it out every day, day in and day out, day in and day out, you're gonna succeed. You're gonna be able to make it. But you have to have that fight in you. You have to have that fight and the tenacity to just want to keep fucking pushing no matter what happens, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how many times you break, just keep getting up and keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. And if you do that, it doesn't matter what position you're in right now. Anybody in here that's in the most worst positions imaginable, you can make it out. You can break free and you can be super successful and so many things. And basically do whatever you want. You just got to set that goal, whatever it is, and start pushing towards it. And sometimes, you set yourself up with little mile markers, right? Just like little things, like by the 6-month mark, I'm gonna have this done. By the eight-month mark, I'm gonna have this done, and make sure you're going towards it, and try to get to it earlier than that. Uh, but yeah, it's it can be tough though, man. On the grindstone as well. Love the new sign of it. So true. Treat everyone with respect. Jared, oh, proud of the 180 you did and how turn channel into a beast for real. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. And yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with where I'm at, but to me, like even Kara asked me the other day, she's like, she goes, "Do you ever stop and think about like how far you've came, like from who you were before, to now?" And I was like, "No." And she goes, "Why?" She's like, "Why don't you?" She's like, "You should." She's like, "You should stop and really think about, like how far you've came." And it's like, I know how far I've came. Trust me. I remember the guy I used to be and the person I used to be and the type of person I used to be, blah, blah, blah. But I haven't even gotten close to where I want to go. So why lift my head up now? Why lift my head up now to get a breath of fresh air, or to think about anything? If anything, I need to work 10 times harder. I need to keep my nose on the ground even more so that I don't, because you don't want to get comfortable. You don't want to feel like you've succeeded. If I feel like I've succeeded in any way, then it's going to take away my drive and my thirst and my hunger. Right. And that's what we should all desire. You want that fucking hunger, that hunger that keeps you pushing, that hunger that wakes you up in the morning and makes you walk out that door and go to work. Right. If you have that hunger in you and you have that drive in you, and you don't have anything that's taking it away, right? Like saying like, "Oh, I've made it, I've done so well." Like I don't even want to think like that. I literally think constantly, what haven't I done? What could I do better? What could I do more of? It's like, granted, I've done this and I'm doing good at this, but what could I do better? And I'm just seeing like an outcome, and it's like I don't even want to breathe until I get to that outcome. So, and just keep on kicking, keep on pushing, keep on running until then. Never give up no matter how long it takes. You lead by example. Exactly. Why pull your head off? Why pull your head out of your ass if your shit does not stink? Is CRK worth it with S45 and tie? Seems like a lot for those materials. I know the quality is immaculate, but I'm on the fence. So Palmer, the thing is you're gonna have to make a choice. Do you care about slow rolling action? Because you have the geometry, the build quality's there, the materials, the maker, warranty, all that stuff's there. Heat treat, all that stuff's good. The action is what usually keeps people. That's what usually divides the people. People like the type of action that's nice and smooth. That's like this. People like this type of action, right? And some people like this type of action. If you don't like this type of action, the slow rolling type of action, it's not that you can't flick it, because you can flick it, but it's not on bearings. So I'd say that's going to be the biggest indicator. But yes, they are definitely worth the money. They are really, really good, and they hold value. So if you didn't like it and you wanted to sell it in 6 months, you could sell it. Focus that energy and don't squander it. Right. Exactly. Um, but yeah, just keeping it pushing, man, keeping it pushing, keeping that grind going, and constantly thinking about ways to improve, be better, do better, get better. Um, with whatever it is, like you could be a landscaper, right? Like say, and I'm just giving examples, right? If you were a landscaper, right? Like let's say you have a trailer, you have a couple machines, right? It's like, well, now what could you do? It's like, well, you should be taking, 30% of your money, whatever you make, and save it so that you can invest in a blower, or so that you can invest in a Harley rake or a Bobcat, something, right? Something else, right? And keeping that going so that then that thing can make you more money. And then the next thing can make you more money. And then over time, now you've got an entire fucking business with tools, that work reliably and can make you extra money. And yeah, when you start thinking of it always like that, where you're constantly just trying to grow, succeed, turn this into that, turn this into that. I always had that mindset. I just did it in a legal way. So now that I'm doing things legitly, I take that mindset and just put it into, the legal way. Lots of convicts will try to get a rep off bitching big fellas. Lots of convicts will try to, oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying a lot of convicts will try to beat up a big fella if he's bitching a lot, just to get a reputation of beating up a big guy. That is kind of true. But a lot of times, like if you're really big, like the one downside, this is the one downside, is that if you're really big and you're really scary, you should be the scaredest, because they're not going to come to fight you. They're just going to stab you. Fucking, they're not going to want to throw hands with you. And if they do throw hands with you, it's not going to be a fair fight. You're going to get jumped. You're going to get hit from all sides. If you did get into a one-on-one, you could get into a one-on-one, and that's what you would want. That's what you'd try for, and or demand it. Have I ever gotten stabbed or slashed before? Only by myself. Only by myself. I've had knives pulled out on me, but I never got stabbed. I've been stabbed, but somebody didn't do it to me. I did it to myself. I've been stabbed, slashed, and cut. I've had everything happen to me when it comes to knives, but but no, I had 3 altercations, one with a razor blade and then 2 knives in the past. But I got lucky. Very, very lucky. Very blessed. Jared, after you got clean, did it take a while to start feeling normal again? Like low energy, tired all the time? It's almost been 3 years and I still feel that way. So one, stone hands, I don't know what you did, but I would have recommended you to get on medication, to get your head right first, so that you can feel normal without going through whatever you're going through. So what I would say is the biggest thing you can do is change your diet and your habits, man. Change your diet. Set yourself up for success. Your diet is the number one thing that is going to make or break you, because low energy and all that stuff. Like say, just for an example, right? I don't eat much carbs anymore, right? Because I realized how tired it made me. So like now during the day, I only eat fruits. That's all I eat during the day. I have to take in 180 grams of protein a day. So that's a lot of protein. So I break that up throughout the day. Right. But that doesn't mean I have to eat a bunch of bread. Right. That doesn't mean I have to eat that. Now, if I ate something in the morning, like with bread, I would feel like shit for the rest of the day. And I know that now. I never knew that before. And I did that every fucking day and never realized how shitty I felt. But now I know how good I feel off of, one diet versus another. So I would focus on that, start drinking a ton of water, and then start exercising. So Stonehands, the biggest thing I can say to anybody, and this holds true for every single person in here, this is going to relate to, and everybody knows it. A body in motion stays in motion, a body at rest stays at rest, right? If you are resting a lot, your brain, you will have to fight fucking demons to get up. And it's because it's like the devil doing it to you. Like it's like you don't want to get up, and your brain will tell you, I'm tired, I don't feel good, I deserve this, things like that. That's what all goes through your head when you're not moving. But if you just fucking bite the bullet and say, no, I'm not doing this today, I'm getting up, and just start doing it, start working out, start being active, do things to stay active for so many hours a day. If you do that for a week, 2 weeks, you will just turn that way. You will have energy all day. You'll be pumped all day. You'll just be excited to do stuff because your body's in motion. Now it'll be difficult for you to sit still. It'll be difficult for you to lay down. Like, well, maybe not go to sleep, but like it'll be difficult for you not to just jump out of bed. It'll be difficult for you to slow down because your body's in motion and it's used to it. But once you let your body stay at rest for any prolonged period, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And like I said, the demons you fight trying to get out of that, it fucks with you. So what I do is, in my head, I'm my biggest cheerleader. I got stabbed by a pencil and 2 knives, all different occasions. Damn. So what the fuck was I about to say? Oh yeah. So what I do is I'm my biggest cheerleader in my head. I root myself on. Like, I am literally talking to myself like how a coach would talk to, I don't know, a basketball player, football player, or something, or a boxer or something, right? Like, I'm literally telling myself this stuff in my head, like as if like I'm in a ring and I'm fighting a fight, and I'm in the corner rooting myself on. You got to talk to yourself like that. Talk to yourself in a way that makes you motivated, makes you grind, makes you feel tough, makes you feel like you're on top of the world, like you can take and handle anything, and constantly keep reapproving yourself, telling yourself that. In the morning, when you get that thought in your head saying, I don't feel like getting up, the next thing that should be in your head is your own voice calling yourself a bitch, saying, get the fuck up, pussy. Don't be a bitch today. Get the fuck up. You're not a pussy. Don't act like a pussy. Get the fuck up. And if your brain is talking to you like that and you're talking to yourself like that, you're going to get up. You're going to get up fast. Like, I damn near do a backflip getting out of bed because I've been screaming at myself for the past 30 minutes. Like, and it's not even that I woke up and I was just sitting there. It's just that by the time I wake up, my brain is already telling me, get your ass up, get your ass up. You got money to make, you got to work, things like that. And then I'm constantly trying to beat challenges and do things that are tough, do things that are hard, but on purpose, right? Purposeful things. They can be small, right? It can be small. Like, say, like one thing I did every morning, I wake up and I drink a warm glass of lemon water. It's something, it sounds dumb, right? But lemon water helps clean your kidneys and liver, right? And your stomach and everything. So I'm doing something healthy first thing. That's the first thing I'm doing before anything. Like, I literally don't do anything. First thing I do, I go and I take a half a lemon, crush it up, or, squeeze it into a warm glass of water, and I chug it. So I start myself off like that. But like those little things like that, if you add those up throughout the day and do things like that all day, granted, you don't have to start with them all at once, but start with one thing a week, right? And then start adding things on. You'd be surprised where you could be in 6 months to a year. Like, you'll be looking back like, holy shit. And then, like I said, after like 90 days, you get a habit. Actually, it doesn't even take that long. 30 days, you're going to have a habit, and you're not going to stop doing whatever the thing is that you're doing, whether it's exercise, whether it's eating healthy, whatever. What's a good diet plan? I mean, everybody's different, but I would say, like I said, everybody's different. So it depends on your goal and it depends on what you're doing. Like, if you're trying to bulk, like, I would say a completely different thing that I'm about to say. But if you're just trying to have a good, healthy diet, obviously food, like regular food, organic food, meats, vegetables, fruits, no, don't eat processed shit. Don't eat anything from the center of a store. Like, if you walk into a grocery store, go towards the outside of the grocery store. Don't go in the middle, right? The middle's all garbage shit. Stay on the outside where all the natural stuff is. And low carbs, try to be low on carbs. 50 carbs a day, 50 grams of carbs a day is usually pretty good for most people, where you can stay energetic, because carbs does give you energy. So there's reasons why you still need carbs, but being on a low carb diet. And if you actually put yourself on a really low carb diet and you have fat that you want to burn, your body will start burning the fat because it won't have the carbs to use for energy. So if you're moving and doing stuff, it'll start burning the fat for energy. And that's what your goal should be. If you're trying to lose weight, you want your body to burn the body fat you have. That's what you want to do. But yeah, what I do is what you do is you take your body weight, whatever your body weight is, without fat. So say if you're 30% body fat, figure out your weight, you know, deduct the 30% body fat, take that number, whatever it is. Like, say if like I'm 185 pounds, right? Say if I have 10 pounds of body fat, so 175 pounds, 175 pounds. So now I take 1 gram per body pound for protein. So that would be 175 grams of protein a day is what I should get to build muscle and to sustain muscle. So if I can get that in, then all I need is just like nutrition now, vegetables, fruits, things like that. And then anything else, you know, as long as I'm not exceeding a certain amount of calories, which I never do anyways, I never fight that. But as long as you're eating clean, you don't have a problem eating as many calories as you're supposed to. The problem is when you're eating garbage, because it'll be something this big and it'll be, you know, as much calories as an entire meal of something healthy. I did a few 360s before the last 180, more like a 197. Yeah, I did. I've done a bunch of 360s myself. Yeah. Definitely been there. Fucking doing 360s like I was rolling down a damn hill for a long time. When I broke my hand, I still trained and punched the bag with my other hand. Yeah, just don't punch it with that hand. You definitely want to give yourself time to heal when you do something, but you just don't want it to cripple you, right? You don't want it to cripple you. Obviously, get the rest you need to heal, whatever that is, right? The rest you need to heal. Anything beyond that, you're being a pussy. Get the fuck up. It would be also a good idea to have blood work done. Oh, dude, I can't. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Yeah, any guy in here, I highly recommend you go get blood work done. Get your hormones checked. Get your hormones checked. Mine were in the fucking dumpsters. So, and that's why I wound up getting on shit. But yeah, definitely get your hormones checked. Get your hormones checked, get your blood checked, get all that shit done. Chasing any old designs? Well, like we talked about earlier, the Custom Knife Factory Evo, the Rotten Designs, I love that. But I don't know if I'm chasing it, but I really like it. I love the Coenigarius. I love the Oz Rosie, but you know, Stones, Strops, Knives, Cookie, and Fishing. What a damn name. I like your name. You're the best, Neevesknives, man. You're the best. Look at your name. Don't eat sugar or flour for starters. It will make a huge difference. Yes. Sugar, you get from your fruits. That's where you want your sugar to come from. Get it from the fruits. You want most things to come from, you know, just a natural place, right? That's the biggest thing. I love plums. Plums are an underrated fruit, and if you freeze grapes, they are perfect on hot summer days. I like grapes, just period. So what I do is during the day, I don't eat. So I don't eat in the morning. I used to eat in the morning. Like I've only been doing this for about 3 months now. No, about 2 months. I've been doing it. But see, before I ate high protein breakfast, high protein meal in the afternoon, and a high protein meal in the evening. Now I sporadically break up my protein all day. 20 grams here, 10 grams there, 30 grams here, 20 grams there throughout the day. But in the morning, I don't eat anything. I drink tons of water. I'll have a coffee. So, but by a certain time, like if you look, I have my daily routine. By a certain time, I have my coffee. So once I have my coffee, I do a specific thing while I'm drinking my coffee, and then I don't eat anything till like 11:30 noon. At that time, I make myself a giant fruit bowl. I eat that. I'll have a protein shake before or after, or both, before and after. I might have some like tuna crackers or something just to get a little bit more protein, get a little, you know, bit something else in my stomach. But it's just little stuff until nighttime. Then after like 3-4 o'clock, I'll eat a giant meal with a lot of protein. You know, some good steak, some you know, something. I won't eat no bread. So like if I eat burgers, I just eat the burger patties. I don't eat any bread with it. I just take the patties and squirt ketchup on there, throw some peppers or something on there. I try to eat as raw as possible. Like what I mean by raw is like no sugars, no breads or anything like that. Like I said, I get my sugar through I have a half a tablespoon of in a big cup of coffee. And then I was doing a whole tablespoon, but now I'm doing a half. And then I have my fruits. Jared, did you get the Maxace Meerkat? Saw it in the thumbnail. No, we talked about it earlier. I did not get it. I got this guy, but I do want it. I'm trying to see if the Maxace is gonna send it. If they're not going to, I might buy it. I almost bought it last night. I was really, really close because it does look badass, but I just don't know. I don't know. It's like it's a 3.1-inch blade, 7 inches overall. So it's not big. It's a small knife. And that's what I'm worried about. Because looking at it, like I'm on the fence. Like, is it because I might get it and be like, ooh, this is smaller than I thought, you know? Damn this shit, man. I gotta get one more. I'm telling you guys, this shit's yeah. Put it right over the other scent I had. Beat off 4 or 5 times a week does a body good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, sure, whatever works. I would say that definitely porn addiction can definitely be a bad thing, though. You know, so definitely be careful with that because that can burn your testosterone up too. And we, as men, we have to pay attention to our testosterone, man. Our testosterone is so important. And when you look at all the plastics in the foods, our testosterone is entirely way too low for what it's supposed to be. Like we're wondering right now, why is there so many fucking betas running around right now? Why do we have so many fucking betas running around? Well, if I had to guess, I would guess if you tested half of them, or the majority of them, they all have low test. Their testosterone's low. It's through the floor, and that's one of the leading causes. Because for men, our energy, our sleep, our drive, our muscle growth, our tenacity, our sex drive, our drive period all comes from testosterone. So if you're fucked up in that area, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like a zombie. You're gonna be foggy. You're gonna be tired. You're not like, or you're not gonna be able to sleep. Like one of the two. Like that's a big thing. Like not sleeping good. There's so many bad side effects, and the problem is that you don't realize how bad they are. It's kind of like with anything. If it slowly happens over time, right? Then by the time it gets to really bad, you've slowly gotten there. So you don't realize, like, if you went from this to this, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Like you would realize it'd feel like you got hit by a baseball bat. That's how like knowledgeable like it would be if you went from this to straight to this. But since you go so slow to get to there, it makes it to where you don't realize how bad you actually feel. You're maintaining, you're getting used to it, you're dealing with it, you're struggling with it. So yeah, I definitely recommend everybody get their shit checked. Jared, are you getting a military too? I don't know. You talking about the compression lock one? I don't know. I've thought about it. Don't tell me you're into the nut sack train. Think I'm gonna take the chance on it for 160. Just sucks waiting 3 weeks for it. Oh, you're talking about the Maxace? I think, dude, I think as long as you like a 3-inch blade, 3.1. Let's be clear, 3.1, not 3-inch. As long as you like that size, which I like that size too. So like that's why I feel like I'll love it. I prefer it to be 3.25. So I'm hoping like that it wouldn't be just a little too small, but I imagine it's a fucking badass knife. They always do a good job. Yep, went through the whole zero testosterone thing, unbearable loss of energy. Yeah. Yeah, like the energy is just one factor too. Like there's so much more from the way you put on weight, right? Like a lot of people put on weight, like seriously, well, their testosterone's low in a lot of cases. And so you're not, your body doesn't have the ability to put on the muscle, and instead it puts on fat, and then it makes you make poor decisions, right? Because you don't have that, like I said, that tenacity to say, fuck no, I'm not doing that, right? Like you just don't have the fight. So you give in to cupcakes and this and that and this and that. And it's just a habit. Like it winds up becoming a habit. And then it also, like I said, it's a fucking vicious cycle where it just makes you worse and makes you worse and makes you worse. And you do it because you're getting worse. And, and then, like I said, the sleep, the no energy, the fogginess, you'll yeah, like me, man, I had a hard time even paying attention to things when my shit was low. how do you increase testosterone naturally? So there's a few different ways. One, the number one way is going to be exercise. That's the number one way. Number two is sleep and exercise. So sleeping 7-8 hours a night is massive for your testosterone. The number one way to lose testosterone is to not sleep. Number two is working out. Anything that makes your muscles fire off and makes your blood flow going, that will increase it. Stop masturbating. That's one thing. Get off of Pornhub. And then healthy foods will definitely increase it. There's other ways, like there is medications you can do that it's to naturally increase it too. I'm not saying like actual testosterone. Like there's actually medication that you get that naturally makes your body naturally start producing more. They're just not that effective, right? That's why most people wind up going to just straight to testosterone. But like I said, the number one way is going to be getting around men, getting around other men that are high testosterone men. That's another way. And I know that's hard to say, so that's why I say go to a gym. If you go to a gym, you might not be associating or talking to them, and maybe you will. You might make some friends, but at least you're in the vicinity with other strong men, and it's gonna it's almost like your animalistic nature comes out. You start looking at competition, right? And you start sizing things up, and it starts making your body start acting as if it's on the hunt, right? So that would be the number one ways I would start doing it right away. Hey, Jelly Jerry's in the house. What are my thoughts on Cold Steel's Atlas Lock? I don't think it's as good as the Shark Lock, so I do like it. I like it quite a bit, but I just not as much as the Shark Lock. I know it's strong. The one thing I think is the problem with it is people were comparing it to the Triad Lock. So yes, it'll hold a little bit more weight than the Triad Lock. Not much though, but what it won't do is it can't handle long-term impact. So like say if you were going to use it for batoning and hard use over long periods of times, it's not going to do as good as a Triad Lock. A Triad Lock will outperform it. You can go watch videos. People have already done tests on this. So I think it's great. I think it's good. I think it's awesome because it's fidgety and it's similar to the Triad Lock, or the Shark Lock, but it's not superior to the Shark Lock or the Triad Lock. That's the way I look at it. 2 things I suck at. What is that? Oh, exercise and diet. But that's also probably why you'd have issues, though. But like I said, man, if you just push yourself to do something small, don't set yourself up for failure. That's the worst thing anybody can do. Like I would never tell any one of you guys that aren't exercising to wake up tomorrow and start exercising. Fuck no, because what you'll do is you'll resent it and you won't continue doing it. What I would say is tomorrow, do 2 push-ups. Do 2 fucking push-ups. That's it. And promise yourself you're going to do 2 push-ups. Don't let yourself down. Hold yourself accountable. Then the next day, do the same 2. After a week, that every day you've done your 2 push-ups, add on 1. Add on 1 or 2 push-ups, right? After a few weeks, you're going to be doing 10 push-ups a day, right? And then you can start, and listen, you can always do more, but you have to at least do the minimum. That's the way I look at it, like me, right? I do a 15-minute workout every day, right? I can go longer if I want, but I have to do at least 15 minutes, right? Now, 2 days a week, I do a full workout where I work out for an hour. So I do 2 full workouts a week. That's it. The other days I do light, or I might hit it hard, but it's only for 15 minutes. That's it. So if you can tell yourself to exercise for 5 minutes, 5 fucking minutes, that's it, right? You can go more if you want, but you can't do less. And if you do that every day, then you're going to set yourself up for success because it's too easy not to pass. It's too easy to not to fail. Like, how can you fail, right? It's like if all you had to do is scratch your head once a day, right? You couldn't fail, right? So if you make it as easy as that, and then after a few weeks, you look back and you say, I haven't missed a day. You start holding yourself accountable, you start feeling good. It makes you feel good, and it makes you say, you know what? I could handle doing more. And you'll start adding more. But then whatever you add, make sure you stay consistent. So whatever you write yourself down and say, this is what I'm going to do every day, do it. but don't set yourself up to fail. Set yourself up for success. Something easy, 60 seconds, a 60-second workout every day. Who the fuck can't do that? Right? If anyone contacts you claiming to be new, yeah, it's always a scammer. I won't contact you guys in the comment section telling you guys want anything, because that's not how you win things on the channel. And if you, all you have to do is click the thing and you can see that it's a page that was just started with 0 followers, 0 anything. That's obviously not me, right? So always, and also you can see if it's me right next to my thing. It'll say me. It'll have like the, not the check mark, but it'll have the thing. So yeah, I'm currently developing an Atlas Shark Lock style axis. What? I'm currently developing an Atlas Shark Lock style axis lock. It is difficult, but I'm still worried that cold steel might be coming from my ass. So yeah, I would imagine. But then again, if they're going to come for your ass, then Demco better go for their asses. I guess that's the way it works. If there's not a patent or check if there's a patent pending. If there's not a patent pending, then fuck it. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely check that, because you'd hate to put all that work into it for nothing. Fire shit, man. I picked up an EXO-M. Hell yeah. Thank you, Sean, for using my links. Guys, you guys have no idea how much it massively benefits the channel if you guys use my affiliate links. My affiliate links are one of the #1 sources of income on the channel, next to AdSense. So thank you guys. All you guys that watch or all of you guys that use the links, thank you so much. And then also, all you guys that click the ads that you see in the videos, thank you. And those of you that watch 30 seconds or more, because any ad that you skip, we don't get paid from. We only get paid from the ones you watch or the ones you click on. I'm not forcing you guys or telling you guys to click on them or anything. Just hit the damn like button, give me a comment. And if you want to, every once in a while, watch a 30-second ad. After handling one at Blade Show, I had to get one. Thanks for the notification that they were available. Not a problem, brother. And I try to let everybody know. What I hate, man, is every single time I'll do a video, I'll do a short, I'll do a post, and they'll be in stock for 3 or 4 days, and then all of a sudden somebody will come as soon as they sell out, literally an hour later. When are these going to be back in stock? It's like, damn it, man, hit the damn bell. Like, if you really want to know, just hit the bell. Because how are you supposed to know when I post something to tell you, hey, it's available, go get it, if you don't hit the bell? Just hit the bell, set it to all, right? You don't have to watch all my videos I post, but at least you'll know if I fucking post something that's important. Links are banging, and it helps channel and you save money. Absolutely. Really on the fence on grabbing the Vision FG. Trying not to be a steel snob, but the Nitro V is throwing me off. What are your thoughts on the Nitro V? I love Nitro V. Nitro V is very similar to 14C28N. It takes an incredibly sharp edge. It is one of the most highest levels of sharpness steels you can get, like Crewware, 14C28N, K390, Nitro V. All those steels take insane edges. Plus, it's easy to sharpen. It's also responsive to stropping. It holds a good edge too. So you're going to have not like incredible edge retention, but it's going to have good edge retention, right? Damn near great. Like it's you know, in the mid-range of steel. So it's a mid-grade steel. It's not a bottom bitch steel, and it's not a premium. It's a mid-grade. So it holds a good edge, has great stainlessness, nice and tough, super tough, and it does good with thin geometry, and it's you know, takes an incredibly sharp edge. So I love it. I could jump right on it if I was you. Nitro V is an amazing steel. So yeah, definitely don't sleep on that steel. Jared contacting me all the time telling me that I've won something. Fucking scammers every day. Yeah, they're not me. It's definitely not me. My email is always linked in every video and my Instagram. You guys can get in contact with me at any fucking time to ask me if you won something or whatnot. And usually go through email, and if it might take me a day or two to get to you, you know, a couple days. There's sometimes I can't get to every fucking message. And some of them do get lost in the sauce. But if you won something, I would damn sure answer your message because I would expect it to be coming. But you'd never win anything like that from me. If you win something, you're going to see you enter and win it. Like, I don't do just random comment pickers from the comment section, unless if I actually do that. But then in that case, I contact you personally. I've only done that once or twice, and that's for people that comment constantly. Vision of Damascus sold out too fast, wasn't able to get one. Yeah. Somebody else said that too. It's weird because I wouldn't have expected that. Not that it's bad. I don't want to make it seem like oh, they shouldn't have done that, but I'm surprised that was the one that got ate up first. You know, maybe it's just because of the unique look with the Damascus. It does kind of look cool. So yes, I do. I report and block every single one I see, but I do literally hundreds of them a week. I can't keep up. They make a new thing, and sometimes like they'll have 3 that they'll do so that if I block one, that there's 2 more still going in the same chat. It's so tough. I don't know how YouTube has not picked that up in their algorithm and figured out how to block them. I don't know. Hey, Jared, ordered my first bottle of Gunny Juice. Got the 5 microns to start. Hell yeah. Good for you. Good shit, man. Gunny Juice is good shit. I know you'll love it. You know, and when you get good diamond emulsion, you're used to and I'm not saying that stropping compound like the aluminum oxide isn't like useful, because it is. It's very useful. But you don't really get to experience the effectiveness of stropping compound like you do when you switch to diamond, or unless if you have an aggressive aluminum oxide one, which you can get. There's all different kinds. And I got this one. I got a diamond one from Veneve. It's Veneve stropping compound. It's literally like sandpaper. So when you strop on it, it feels like you're grinding across a diamond plate. It almost sucks. Like, no, it's great, but I just mean like the feeling of it. It's like, oh fuck, am I fucking my shit up? But it's really good though. What it is good for is you can damn near sharpen your knife just by stropping. Like literally full-blown sharpening. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I got to use the washroom. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm going to take my last sip of coffee with you guys. My second cup today. I didn't drink 16, so did pretty good today. I'm just shocked that Civivi made all the Vision FGs in my Carta and black blades. If you want a satin blade, you got to get the Jade G10 or go fuck yourself. I hate that too. A lot of times they do that so that you'll buy 2 and then swap shit. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for using my links. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. And thank you guys for watching the ads that you see in the videos, or at least hitting them. But first and foremost, please hit the like button. And thank you for hitting the like button. Shout out to all the Patreon members. If you're a Patreon member, watch for the video tomorrow. For the Patreon giveaway. I threw in the Liang Ma field duty in that bitch. I think there's probably I don't even know. There's a lot of money. Way more than we're making from Patreon in that damn box for you guys. So you guys got a bunch of awesome gifts coming. So Patreons, watch that video tomorrow. If you are a member, shout out to you. Thank you for joining. I see we have a couple new members today. We will be doing a members live soon. That's every other Sunday. Do we have one tomorrow? I don't think so. I think it's next week. If it is, it might be tomorrow. Wait, no, today's Wednesday. Sorry, I mean this Sunday. It's either going to be this Sunday or it's next Sunday. I'll figure it out. I got to look at my schedule. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you guys for all the support. Work hard, stay tough. You know society's relying on you. Until next time, peace.